Moulseed Park, the men in white, the umpires for today's grand final. Please welcome central umpires Kevin McMahon and Shane Dempsey, Derby umpires Tim Wilson and Jason Shepherd, and our goal umpires this afternoon, Bruce McLaughlin and Brian Jacobson. Winner premiers for 1998 under the name of North Gambia Tigers. Please welcome the reigning premiers going to make history this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, please be attentive for the national anthem that bands Australia Fair.
Western Border League Grand Final for 1998. Umpire Kevin McMahon gets us underway at Moulseed Park. We are ready to roll. The Tigers and the Demons, south going right of screen with a very slight breeze, north to head, left of screen to that northern goal, and south try and work it out very quickly from the centre square. A lot of pressure on early, hard body to start it. Players going over the top. Michael Mullen now off the ground for Mick Ryan. The kick inside 50. Players go after the football out there, and we'll have a ball up, first ball up after the centre bounce inside the 50-metre square, or rather 50-metre arc for the South Gambia Demons, going to the right of screen with a very slight wind advantage, nothing much at all, but the flag's just flapping slightly and saying it's going down that way. South Gambia, Leroy Capewell takes his position in the side. Darren Wright is on the bench, former coach and league medalist for the North Gambia Tigers. Players go hard at it. Forster it was in there. First kicking into the forward line. Capewell caught and tackled. Couldn't get loose. Umpire says play on. Finally deep into that forward pocket it goes. Here's a chance for Edwards down from his wing, and the ball will be thrown in the right forward pocket. A very hectic start, David.
Certainly was, Jim, and both teams come out and have a red-hot dip early in this quarter as we're deep into South Gambia's attack here, as boundary umpire Shepherd will throw the ball back in. Players at it. Ryan in there with his big bulk and strength. Patzel goes in hard there on Nathan Bell. There's a pack form, and umpire McMahon will come in and throw the ball up.
A little bit of feeling as Leroy Capewell goes hurtling out of that pack. With umpire Kevin McMahon, David says no damage.
Boundary ball up here with umpire McMahon. He puts the ball down now. Players at the at this bounce. Ryan's in there with his bulk again. Just thumps the ball forward. Comes out to Allen. Crossed here now as we lead from North Gambia through number 34.
Luke Norman it was.
And Luke Norman. The ball's out wide here on the centre wing in front of the scoreboard size. South Gambia pick it up through Weatherfield. Gets the ball inside here. Here's Mullen. Off quickly to Michael Edwards. The ball comes in. All the mark nearly taken there. Here's Molly Patzel onto that favoured right foot to the goal square. Capel goes down. Capel gets back up again, but very, very well done by North Gambia there and Luke Norman to get back and pump the ball through for a point.
I think it might have been Brent Howard who got the kick down there.
Jim, yeah, really.
And he's matched up and manned up, it looks like, on Peter Collins. Although he's left him now. The first score of the grand final goes to South Gambia. It was a behind. Leroy Capel didn't keep the feet. Luke Norman kicks towards that scoreboard side. Good spoil from Jason from behind by Paul Mullen on Jason Allen. It comes back into direction. This time on Andrew Sims. He goes over the top of the football. It's kicked off the ground by North Gambia. They force it forward. Darren Lloyd moved over from West Gambia in a quest for a premiership, and Andrew close with him. It goes to the boundary line. The two former West Gambia players that time, and a slightly attacking side of centre for the North Gambia side. 1 point on the scoreboard to open the scoring for South Gambia. And the big ruck contest between number 21, David Nolte, and number 13, Mick Ryan, the veteran. Ryan got hand to it, came to ground. Ryan bullocks his way through, started well. Paul Mullen, beautiful feed, and away they go, the Demons, towards half forward. Forster's underneath it, he's got it!
It's sheer strength, Jim. Sheer strength by Forster. Handball off now here to
Brent Howard it is.
Brent Howard with the shape, and look, Jim, comes inside here. It's a good move by Salmon, but he was taken very high off the ball. McMahon didn't see it. Number 15 in Winterfield, but I think Dempsey, the umpire, come in from behind there. Jim, maybe you can tell us what might happen there coming from your umpiring background.
Well, David, the call I think is correct. He's taken I think in the back that time. I didn't see the signal from the umpire. Did he call in the back?
It's a high tackle.
Called a high tackle. Okay, Jack Dempsey's closer than we are on that one. I was actually watching play go towards that forward pocket. But Adam Salmon has recovered from, they believe, a shoulder injury, and he'll be tested by the North Gambia opponents this afternoon, I'm sure, as Adam Salmon kicks on that southern goal, but he's going to miss away to the right. And South Gambia starting accurately with two behinds. North Gambia yet to score in 1998 grand final. You're watching on KTV from Mulseed Park in Mount Gambier, the 1998 Western Border League grand final. David Case and yours truly, Jim Buckley, with you in the commentary box. The kick in from Norman. Luke Norman goes towards the scoreboard side. Nolte from behind. Paul Mullen was from in front. The kick came away that time to Bradley Wilson-Smith. Goes on to that scoreboard side, that outer side of the ground. Duncan McGregor and Darren Lloyd. Finally the bounce is kind. And South Gambia work it nicely out of the fence, back towards half forward. From behind, big spoil that time by Willoughby. Comes to ground. Going in hard that time again. North Gambia comes loose towards Forster of South. Picked up by Bradley Wilson-Smith. Nicely got the ball across to Johnny Brown. Johnny Brown worked it back to Collins. Nolte's in there to try and give support. South under pressure will work it back from the centre towards half forward. Running battle here. Hard at the ball, Salmon. The North opponent was very good as well. And it goes towards the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in. Number 49 was Luke O'Connor.
Couple of interesting matchups here. Simon Jones for South Gambia, who's played forward all year, has gone back and picked up Matthew Patzel from North Gambia, and young Howard's running with Collins, Jim. So there's a couple of things that Peter Sims had recognised since their semi-final effort at Millicent. Kevin McMahon here is going to...
no, he won't reverse it, no.
You don't think he will, Jim? No.
Good decision by Kevin.
So, Jim, those couple of matchups could be interesting. Nolte gets it over towards Bell. Andrew Sims comes in a bit late, and the free kick will be taken to Nathan Bell here on the centre wing.
A very important player for them today, David, Nathan Bell, off his raking left foot. If he can get plenty of possessions, he can be very attacking.
Comes in towards half forward, but Mick Ryan dropping back in front of Matthew Patzer will take an easy mark. Big Mick had 3 or 4 possessions early on, Jim, and
he's here to play, David. He is here to play.
He loves these Sunday afternoon grand finals in Western Border League. He's one of the big time players. Kicks long now, down towards Forster. Forster in over the top, can't get over. Johnny Brown's in hard there for North Gambia. Been a very good player all year, Brown. Well tackled though by Boucher. Comes out to Andrew Sims. He gets a handball over the top, and at this stage, Jim, the pressure's red hot here at Mulseed Park.
Good tackling from both sides, and North are standing up. They'd be expecting a little bit of physical pressure early from the South Gambia Demons, but standing up to it pretty well indeed. Opening moments of the 98 grand final. Ryan and Nolte. No one really got possession. McKay, the veteran, goes in over the top of it. He can't get his foot to the ball. They stack on the mill, and there'll be a ball up by Kevin McMahon, one of the central umpires with Jack Dempsey this afternoon. So the scoreboard, South have opened the scoring rather with 2 points. North Gambia yet to score. Good bounce by McMahon. Nolte and Ryan, the two big men. Going in hard that time with Matty Fear, taking out a good hip and shoulder on him, and finally another ball up to take place. As you'd expect, a lot of pressure, David, early on.
It certainly is, Jim, and there'll be a few ball ups earlier on. It'll be a matter of now which team can just take the pressure in these early minutes of this grand final. McMahon now puts the ball down. Ryan and Nolte, as we'll see for most of the day. The big left hand of Mick Ryan comes out here to Matty Fear, but well tackled by Bradley Wilson-Smith. And Matty Fear can only get the ball over the boundary.
Gee, there hasn't been an easy kick early on.
It certainly hasn't been, Jim. Not one easy
Terrific
kick
stuff.
Just what you expect from grand finals, though, Jim. That's what it's all about. Boundary line throw in. Ryan and Nolte again. Up over the top was this time was Nolte. Edwards was in there. Great takeaway by Glennie Little. He gets the ball. Peter Collins is his first effective kick. Comes out to McKay. McKay goes deep down towards where we have Simon Jones and Patzel there. Good running by McGregor's in hard. Gets the ball out towards South Gambia's running play. Here's Simon Jones. He's been a very good player, Simon Jones. Comes out to Jason Allen, one of the quickest wingmen in the league. He comes wide. Matty Patzel's left on his own here. And we'll have a shot for goal, Jim, within 35, 40 metres.
Chips over the top, short, in fact, David.
Jim, that's...
Paul Mullen.
That's a really... Matty should have went back and had a shot for goal there, but it's very easy sitting from where we are.
Again, that's a very defensive pocket over there, and not easy to defend, and that's what they've done. The kick out comes in short. It looked like Butcher with it that time. Got it back to Mullen. Mullen on that right foot, back towards that centre wing in front of the scoreboard on the outer side of the ground. Players make their way towards that boundary line. Mullen following up. Nice hands. Got it off beautifully. Maybe Jones got the kick that time. Taken nicely that time by Heath Sims. He's away and running. He goes inside that 50-metre arc. They're coming out Luke Norman in front of Leroy Capewell, and the young defender does very well. Off the Willoughby. They've been a good combination all year. Willoughby on the right foot, back towards centre wing, from behind, almost a very big mark taken that time by number 15, and that of course is Mark Winterfield. He kicks up towards half forward and finds Edwards sitting out there. Michael Edwards, distinctive with the black flowing hair. Oh, brings back memories, David. Kick from Michael Edwards up towards half forward. Spoiled from behind by Wilson Smith. Gathered by the youngster Howard. He got it on South go inside 50. Cape was sitting behind with Salmon. Taken off the hand. Forster got the ball beautifully across that time to Matty Patzel, and Molly Patzel goes bang and puts it through for a goal.
Good play by South Gambier there, Jim. They work in numbers, and one thing that we've seen over the last few years, and one of the characteristics of South Gambier, is how hard they work in the clinches, Jim. And that was no more evident than what it was on that far side of the ground there, where they worked very, very hard, and Forster's quick hands across to Molly Patzel registers in the first goal.
Very good team goal, David.
Sensational, Jim. 1 goal to South Gambier, 8 points at the 10-minute mark, leading North Gambier in the 1998 Senior Grand Final here at Mulseed Park. Jack Dempsey puts the ball down. Nolte and Ryan again. Nolte gets his hand to it. Comes out to Darren Lloyd, a very damaging player, Lloyd, all year. Brett Dean onto the ball now. Had South Australian National Footy League experience. Comes across looking in from Matty Earl, one of the key forwards.
He's
got it. Taken a very good mark in front of Matty Fear there and David Chan. And Matthew Earl, one of the features of his game this year, Jim, has been his ability to kick goals.
So the youngster, tall and rangy, number 10, will kick from approximately 40 metres. And it should be no problem with the distance. He'll need to kick maybe a little left and bring it back right, though the breeze almost insignificant and chopping around a little. According to the flags, it's behind him, but not reliable, the flags. He's kicked on that northern goal, and he has missed. First score on the board to North Gambier. They got a one behind. South opened with a behind as well, but they've since got a goal through Molly Patzel. And the kick-in will be taken down there by the youngster, Brent Howard. Only a teenager, 17 years of age, and thumps it towards this clubhouse side wing. Good spoil, Matty Fear on Brett Dean. And the ball goes over the line. I'm interested to see the matchup on Dean, whether they'll let him run loose and just try and work off him, or whether, in fact, they'll man up. Dean, at the moment, not with a direct opponent. He's number 3 on screen. And coming across to pick him up. Interesting, maybe Molly Patzel's got him. Ryan and Nolte. Ryan perhaps just to ground. Collins looking for an early touch. Got away from Howard, did it with pace. Coming hard on him at the end that time was Mark Winterfield, but it got the kick in at Collins, goes to the boundary line, and it is over and out. And they blow the siren now, and South win it. Well, you've got to be in front. It's early moments. We've played about 12 minutes of the Western Border League Grand Final for 98. Lovely throw in by the umpire. Boundary umpire, young Jason Shepherd. from the Western District Umpires League. And here's Brett Dean again, and he's gone deliberately for the line. It's out on the full anyway. That was interesting.
Very interesting.
And Molly Patzel lets him know. That's all happening here. Patzel and Dean, and Patzel will not back away from Dean. I know that's going to be one of the tactics. They're going to test the resolve and resilience of Brett Dean today. Question mark about him. Molly Patzel had tested out early. Both champs. Comes to half forward. Don't worry about Bretty Dean. He'll be back in the action. Good tackle on Lloyd, trying to work it out. Adam Salmon, tackle on the shoulder, he gets away. Mullen to Belsher, into an open goal. Belsher's kicked the goal, and the Demons have their second on the board.
Oh, gee, Jim, they do it so very, very professionally. Like, they've got a wonderful group of players, Southgate. I know it's only early in the piece yet, and that's maybe all we've talked about, but they don't care who gets the ball or where it comes from. They just walk very, very well together, Jim, and it was no more evident. In their 2 goals so far, they've been prepared to put their body on the line and work for each other.
Interesting, the matchup. We know Molly Patzel's got Brett Dean. We know number 15, Mark Winterfield's going to run with Andrew Close. Duncan McGregor is following Darren Lloyd, although they both could be on a wing or Lloyd off a half-forward flank. We'll pick that one up for you. Jack Dempsey gets us underway again. Nice bounce. Ryan got it. Comes to ground. Here's a chance for Patzel. He's taken off it by Nathan Bell, which was good play. Snoopy Mackay left foot towards half forward. Well read McGregor. Good tackle on him late. Patzel. Here's Lloyd. Look out. Danger. Kick from Lloyd towards captain coach Glenn Goss from behind Earl. He might have taken a mark early. He's been paid by Jack Dempsey. He was last in line. But the big reach over the top. And Earl's got a second chance to bring up the first goal for North Gambier in the 98 grand final.
A little bit closer this time, Jim, and 2 good grabs by Matty Earl early in this game, Jim, and certainly Lloyd and Matty Patzel from North Gambier, and to get the ball out of the centre like that did very well, and then Lloyd with his very clever Darren Lloyd centred the ball into where Matthew Earl got on the end of it.
Right foot kick fires on that northern goal. It looks okay. Teammates like it. It's a goal to North Gambier. Their first of the grand final. Matty Earl gets it. They go along to 1-1-7. South at 2-2-14.
Good work by Lloyd there, Jim. He certainly worked very well in his ability to get the ball back into that centre corridor where they've been doing all year, and they're very good at centering the ball, North Gambier, and results in their first goal.
Got a lot to play for, Darren Lloyd, as has, of course, Andrew Close and Matthew Patzel for North Gambier. They've all moved across from North Gambier, and behind the play, Brent Howard and Peter Collins might get a yellow card as he throws one at Brent Howard, and Jack Dempsey come between it. What did he see? He's reported both players, I believe. And both players will be yellow carded, or will it be just Brent Howard? Now, certainly he would have seen the one thrown by Peter Collins. Did he pick up the first one thrown by Brent Howard? He did. I reckon they're both going to go.
No, Jim, I'd be interested to see what happens here because...
both going, yep. He's got them both.
All right.
And certainly Brent Howard was making Peter Collins feel his presence. That was the matchup. And interesting how they both go to the interchange together. There's a
9-1 looking at each other.
There they close, and the youngster Brent Howard will not be awed at all by Peter Collins. But they're playing one short. We'll have an open game for a while because they do a 20-minute sit-down, and that'll probably take the quarter out. But they're both at it. Good decision by Jack Dempsey, both to go. And the reports have been made. Back in the centre, Ryan and Nolte. McGregor's in there. Lloyd as well. Mullen, good player. Here's Molly Patzel. Got the break on Dean. Boots left foot inside 50. Running after at that time was Norman. He overran it. Going back to support Bradley Wilson-Smith. He's very good. He boots on left foot towards this grandstand side. Clubhouse side of the ground. Players coming back. It's 2-1. The Shepherd off the ball was very good from South. It comes that time to Andrew Sims. He boots up it, cutting it off. Very good. Looks like Johnny Brown got back there and
Good
taking
job
a very
Johnny
good
Brown.
mark.
Matchup's very interesting, Jim. We've got a lot of players running with obvious matchups, and that will be interesting to see how that pans out during the day.
Mackay through the centre looks for Matthew Patzel, who got space that time. The tackle coming in late, but no offence that time. Simon Jones coming hard on Matty Patzel. Former West Gambier player, and he boots on right foot, goes towards that outer side of the ground. Lead from Glenn Goss, and the captain coach gets his first touch of the grand final, but he's way out. He's a beautiful kick of the football.
Tell you what, Jim, I wouldn't put it beyond him. He can kick the ball 50 metres plus, Glenn Goss. A beautiful left foot kick.
I reckon he just might stray. He's about 10 metres too far, I reckon. He'll run on that left foot. He gives it a big ride. It's going to drop short. In fact, it's almost got the distance. Ball into the goal square. Look out, ball comes loose. South haven't cleared it out of there. They stack on it, and umpire Dempsey says it's mine, boys. And he'll give it a bounce. Of course, Jack Dempsey played with Hamilton. I believe he might have played in the 81, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he didn't. 81 premiership side. He was certainly around about that era as he gets the bounce. Ryan did it well, concedes the point, always going to be on, and the second point on the scoreboard for North. They're 1-2-8, South at 2-2-14.
Well, Jim, so far it's been a very, very good grand final. Both sides having a red-hot dip, and there's been no quarters given at this stage, Jim. And already we've had 2 players sent off, Collins and young Howard. So that's very interesting, Jim, and we'll see how that affects the rest of this game for this quarter, because I'll sit most of the quarter out. Andrew Sims now comes in, takes a mark. Him and Brett Dean, obviously Sims is matched up against Brett Dean because he's been running with him now for the biggest part of this quarter. So Peter Sims, obviously, Jim has done his homework, or he thinks he's done his homework by matching these players.
I reckon Patsel's got Dean. I reckon Patsel's got Dean 32 on 3. I'm just watching. I think Winterfield's on Close. And we've got McGregor on Lloyd. They're the early matchups. Mullen will be in the centre on Bell. Players come over the top, and umpire Kevin McMahon calls for a bounce. Attacking side of centre on this, the clubhouse wing, in front of a very big crowd event at Mulseed Park. I'll get the right venue. Made a nice faux pas of that in the opening presentations, but that's all right. Otherwise, it went pretty smoothly, David.
Very good indeed, Jim.
Snoopy Mackay in there. There could be another ball up here unless it comes loose. It does. McGregor on that trusty left foot. He belts it back towards the wing. Mullen almost spectacularly one-handed. Then goes back on. Was grabbed and didn't have it. Bit unlucky that time. Ball to Mackay. Mackay underneath it. Boots it very high towards half forward. Holding on to fear that time was the player behind Bradley Wilson-Smith. And Jack Dempsey's seen that one. And the free kick will go to Matty
Right on the
Fair.
spot, wasn't he, Dempsey? Jim, umpire Dempsey was in a good position and made a correct call. Matty Fair now, Jim, been a good player for South Gambia for many years now. He'll come in on that left foot now and drive the ball down towards looking for Forster, and over the top, big Forster comes in. Johnny Brown, who's been very evident early in this quarter. Boucher runs on him but can't stop him. He goes across here to where Matthew Patzel and Jason Allen pick it up, and Simon Jones stayed down and remained cool. There's
Beautiful
Boucher.
kick.
He's been a live wire across half forward, already kicking 1 goal, Jim.
And Simon Jones's vision, David, superb that time. Around him he goes. That was a very obvious move. Boucher boots on that northern goal. The Salmon's got the sit. No, it's not Salmon. Behind him was sitting that time number 34, 34 in fact, Heath Sims.
Ex-Millicent boy, Jim, not a South Gambia Sims, as we well know. But
And he tries to improve the angle, but
Heath has crossed to South Gambia this year from used to play with Millicent, but a very good junior footballer, and has had a very successful year with South Gambia so far, Jim.
Heath Sims, chance to put the third on the board for the Demons. Gee, it'd be handy. He's in the pocket, distance no problem. He's virtually got to stab it directly between the goalposts. A little bit of breeze, kicks slightly into it. I think he's kicked it well. Heath Sims has got it. Third goal to the Demons. We had a beautiful shot of that one. The Demons go to 3-2-20, North are 1-2-8.
Well, Jim, it's both sides have been in their 50, I would say, on about the same amount of times. It's just that South Gambia have kicked 2 more goals with their forward thrust. But I tell you what, North Gambia have been very good now, and they'll have to try to work out what they're going to do, because it would have been quite a while since they've played without Peter Collins, Jim.
Absolutely. Peter Collins off the ground. Bryn Howard traded his position, virtually a sacrifice like a game of chess, David, wasn't it? Mullen in the centre from Ryan, he's been good. Winterfield, he's on close. The kick from Winterfield back to half forward. Forster grabs front position. Good spoil from behind that time by Craig Todd. It comes to Darren Lloyd. Couple of early touches. A nice kick to half forward. Behind Matty Patzel did it beautifully. The ball just didn't cover to Mackay. Snoopy's got it. He'll kick on that untrustworthy right foot, but does it well. Wilson Smith receives into the open goal. Over to Earl, and Earl gets his second. Good team goal, Tigers.
That's just what you'd expect from Bradley Wilson-Smith, Jim. Over the years he's played with North Gambia, would be one of the most team-orientated players you'd wish to come across. He's represented Western Border Footy League, and I think you and I talked earlier on in the year on the sports show about him, one of the most underrated players playing in Western Border Footy. Good goal to Matthew Earl, and good build-up from Darren Lloyd once again, Jim, who's had a hand in both goals.
And good work by Matty Patzel too to knock the ball on. It was very intelligent play by the centre half forward, who's meant so much to this side since coming across from North Gambia and really established himself as a senior Western Border League player. Back in the centre, Ryan and Nolte, the two go at it again. Molly Patzel goes on Dean, it comes out the back, but umpire Kevin McMahon says we'll try it again, let's. Right in the firm centre of the ground, in the beautiful conditions of Mulseed Park. Big crowd, great occasion, and the search for glory is on. Ryan and Nolte to ground. Jason Allen tied up in the tackle, came out to Ryan. He's brought down, and there will be a ball up again. Andrew Sims getting the hand pass in, but the Colossus had nowhere to
What
go.
about Andrew Close? What about a huge tackle there by Close? The smallest man on the ground, and he dragged Mick Ryan to the ground, Jim.
No surprise at all. full of courage is Andrew Close. Is his quest for a premiership. He moved from west, as we've said, across the north. Paul Mullen caught and will be pinged holding the ball. No, play on. Here's Bradley Wilson-Smith. G started well. Left foot from Bradley is not good. It'll fall short of Matt Patzel. The run of it, it goes loose. Mullen loses his feet. The ball comes back towards Jones. It was an optimistic hand pass that time from Andrew Sims. Comes to ground. Here's Ryan. He'll get fist the ball. It goes beautifully to Winterfield. He's dragged down, but it'll come to Paul Mullen. Mullen will go with the right foot kick as Willoughby came hard. It goes loose, and the mark will be taken for South down here by number 25, Johnny Clayton.
Clayton now, Jim, outside of 50.
Goes towards the goal square. Capewell's got the sit. Play on from behind. It's Edwards. He's tackled beautifully. Was he driven into the ground? No, says Kevin McMahon. And they exchange pleasantries in the left forward pocket. And there'll be a ball up.
Ball up now, Jim. 15 metres around from South Gambia's goal. Well, both sides really having a red-hot dip here at the moment. Rucks go out here at the centre half forward position for South Gambia. The ball's loose now. It comes out here. North Gambia relieve it through close out to Johnny Brown. He stands tall. Very good mark under pressure, Johnny Brown. Done some really good things to be one of North's best players in this early part of the first quarter. Comes out looking for Jason Allen. Mick Ryan over the top. Nice disciplined punch by Mick Ryan. Jason Allen back onto it. Can't get his hand to it. Yes, he does. Runs around, but the boundary umpire deems that the ball's already gone over the line. And we'll throw it in right in front of us here, Jim, in front of an absolute blockbuster crowd here at Mulseed Park.
The throw to take place, umpire Jason Shepherd. From the Western District umpires, a big throw in to ground. Winterfield's had some important touches. Heath Sims overruns it. Paul Mullen, beautiful support on the right foot. Mullen kicks in towards Leroy Capewell, who's come back from an injury, and Leroy's taken to the boundary line, and it'll be thrown in. You always hold your breath when Leroy tackles, and the young man on him won't give him anything either, Luke Norman. Gee, what a contest that'll be. Where's Bruce when you need him? He should be calling this. The battle between Capewell and Luke Norman will be special this afternoon. Kick from Nathan Bella's taken by Sims. Sims hooks one back on goal, and it is good.
Two good goals by Heath Sims, Jim, both in the same position, but just an opportunist with good skills and finished off beautifully there deep in that forward pocket.
They have come to play. South Gambia have made the statement early, if you want your premiership, North, you're going to have to win it. As you'd expect from the reigning champs, they're not going to relinquish the title without a few bruises and a fair bit of sweat and tears. Maybe not much blood, we hope. Whoa, it's on. We have got a game. 4-2-26, North 2-2-14. And a centre square infringement will go against... I think Boucher got in pretty early that time.
It was half a stop over the line.
Dean got it from Nolte. Dean kicks towards the defensive side of the ground. Interesting that they go out there. That's not the place to be. Jason Allen overruns it. Paul Mullen's with him all the way. And a beautiful tackle, Mullen, on Jason Allen. You're here to play footy, fellas. So the South Gambia side. The North Gambia boys know they've got a game in their hands. The Demons at the 25-minute mark. We're about to go on a time on, lead it by 2 goals. And we have got a contest. Nolte. Great play by the big fella. Towards close, McGregor put an arm in. Lloyd went at it, a little tentatively for mine. The bounce was elusive on Jones, but the veteran Glynn's back there. Taken by Goss, over the top of it, Jones, and it'll be a free kick. Ooh, it looked a little soft to me, but Glynn gets it.
By Glynny though, Jim. He got his body in over the ball.
Matty Fear, yes it is, David.
Yes,
Close coming down. Matty Fear, traditional. He's unconventional. He's no stereotype at all. He has the socks down and he kicks beautifully with the left foot. You'd pick him every time, wouldn't you? Winterfield had some very important touches. Was he hit late by Lloyd? He wasn't. The kick is marked by Bell under pressure and does it well, Nathan Bell.
Put his hands and put his body in front, which was good to see from Melly, Jim.
So some of the on-ballers getting touches now for North, and that's good. Here's another one getting a touch out here, Darren Lloyd. Lloyd on right foot, doesn't waste many kicks. Beautiful kick, good lead from Earl. And he got a couple of metres on David Charlton. That was enough when you got Darren Lloyd delivering like that. Matty Earl. Between forward pocket and forward flank on scoreboard side. He's deep in the defensive pocket.
Already kicked 2 goals too, Jim. Matty Earl, generally a good kick on goal.
If he kicks this, I'll call David Case a gentleman. The kick from Matty Earl is across the face of goal, and I don't have to call him a gentleman because it was a good effort from there, though.
Very good indeed, Jim, although I think North Gambia maybe need to get into that centre corridor a little bit more. They're going wide, but then again, Jim, I suppose if that's where the forwards are going to lead, you obviously got to give the ball when they present themselves as a target.
Demons to bring it back. Kick in by Winterfield. It's Mark Winterfield. Chips in short. Wayne Glynn. inside 25, going well into time on. Hasn't been a lot of goals, only the 6 goals kicked in the opening quarter. So not a lot of time on as Glynn kicks towards that scoreboard side. Spoil from behind Nathan Bell. Runners wanted here. Over the top of it that time went David Chant. Glynn's in front. Oh, Goss went everywhere from behind. Allowed to play on by Kevin McMahon. That's an interesting call. Fear cleared it. No danger that time for... Well, there is danger because he kicked it out on the full. And I thought Kevin McMahon missed
Jim,
that.
You couldn't get much more obvious than that, could you? Goss, he just dragged Wayne Glynn down by the jumper, Jim. So you couldn't get much more obvious than that.
No, you never pay a free kick against the captain coach, though. First thing you learn when you umpire, David. No, not indeed. I think Kevin McMahon perhaps unsighted. Brett Dean shoots it in. There's Goss from behind. Does well, close to the boundary line. The Demons work it out of there very nicely. Chant got it to Mullen. Mullen back to Chant. Was good play on the right footer. Kicks it along to the wing. Sitting underneath it, Heap Sims. No free kick. Back he goes on Brown. Brown got a one-handed handball. That's not in the rules, Jack Dempsey, but he didn't see it. And there's going to be an interchange, and it will be either on the full or a free kick to South. It may have been on the full. No, throw in. Now, that was interesting. Oh, he wants the crowd back, that's all. Well, we've seen a boundary umpire give assistance to a field umpire in the AFL. I thought we were going to get a repeat down here in the grand final. I don't think so. Good knock by Ryan. Glenn Little goes hard at it. Knocked away from him. Lloyd. Nathan Bell has a lot of kicks early. Kick is an up and under. Getting underneath it close. He's spoilt nicely from behind. Bradley Wilson-Smith. Nathan Bell runs into close. It comes loose. Mackay looking for Bell. The feed to Lloyd. The running Lloyd on that right foot. Hooks it towards Earl. It's a skimmer. It won't carry. Goss goes hard. Glynn reads it better. A lovely handball to get out of defence to Fear. Fear on the left foot. Doesn't have to change direction. Just boots it wide and finds Mullen in front of, and he's had the better of that duel. Up and running is Paul Mullen. Away he goes 10-20 metres and boots it to the centre wing where Edwards in front does it well. A terrific mark by the youngster in front of Glenn Little. And oodles of talent and oodles of pace as he goes back and boots inside 50. The lead from Capewell is superb and maybe just outside Leroy's distance.
Jim, I'd say it would test him just outside of 50, particularly with that ankle the way it's been, Jim.
He's just liable to kick it now on you, David. That's the trouble with Leroy. He'll go back. Gee, won't this bring the house down? Leroy Capewell from just outside 50. Won't carry. Gets close. Punch wanted from behind. Forster tried to get hands. Running players. Who's to ground here? Molly Patchell will do the shepherding off. Andrew Sims takes it to the boundary line. Perhaps could have done more with that, South. A little tentative as they went to that one, and it'll be thrown in. They lead by 9 points. 10 points, in fact.
Gee, Jim, it's been a wonderful grand final so far, and both teams totally committed, Jim, and been down to 17 men for a while now, and they will be until about quarter time, I'd say.
11 points is, in fact, the margin. I will get it right. It's 2-3, 4-2, the Demons lead. Willoughby under pressure, taken high. A little carelessly that time by number 9, Andrew Sims. And the Demons, even though deep in attack, will surrender it now to Garth Willoughby. Kick from Willoughby is good, except it won't find Matty Fear. Number 30. If he falls on you, you're going to go at number 30, Nick Forster.
Gee, Jim, he's presented himself pretty well in some contests too down there.
Fantastic grab.
Craig Todd's done a good job on him so far, but a couple of good things done by Nick Forster as well. Of course, Nick Forster played with North Gambier too, Jim.
The kick off the boots, very nice. On the siren! Whoa! And at quarter time, Nick Forster gets his first. He also gets the 5th goal for South Gambier. They're 5-2-32. North Gambier 2-3-15. We are underway in the second quarter. Ryan got it down to Bradley Wilson-Smith. The lead at half-time was 17 points to the Demons. They need to defend against North Gambier. Now go forward. Collins and Howard, the 2 players sent off in that first quarter, are now back on the ground and directly opposed to each other, David.
That will be a very interesting contest to watch for the rest of the day, Jim.
David Case.
Peter Collins' endurance is absolutely fantastic.
And Brent Howard has the young legs. He's only a 17-year-old. To ground it comes. They're kicking left of screen now, the Demons. We believe they have a wind advantage in this, the second quarter. 2-3-15 the Tigers. The Demons are 5-2. 32 are underway in the second quarter. KTV bringing you the Western Border League Grand Final from Molesey Park for 1998. Ryan and Nolte to ground. Howard. Quick kick out. Well done by Snoopy Mackay. Work back on his left foot, but he loses his footing. He's caught Mullen. No, got away from Mullen. Then got the left foot kick inside 50. Close in front, takes the mark. McGregor couldn't spoil. And Andrew Close a chance to bring up the first goal of the second quarter into the breeze for North Gambia. Gee, I thought Duncan McGregor could have done a little more then,
yes,
David.
I did too, Jim. It was uncharacteristic of Duncan.
Well, he struggles for distance closely, and he has on this occasion into the breeze. In front, Ryan got a fist to it, then got another fist to it, and guess where he went? To the boundary line. I don't care how much they pay Mick Ryan, you could double it, and you're still going to get value.
He's certainly a big influence on the South Gambia's senior footy team, Jim.
Almost as good a player, they tell me, as Bobby Attawell was. But we won't go into that. Ryan and Nolte to ground. Players fall on top. Here's a chance out there. McKay was running loose. Beautiful defensive stuff from Jones. Geez, recovered from that knee, David. The kick back towards Hufford. Forster a big leap. It came from behind. Edwards' pace will worry Brown, but he got a kick in towards the two combatants in Howard, and it was that time Collins. Howard did well under pressure. Just let the ball go in time. Coming from behind was Willoughby. That time on Michael Mullen, and the veteran.
This boy, Jim.
Second in the middle. Second in the middle, David. He kicks from wing. He kicks to half forward. Forster from behind Brown. Beautifully read that time by number 34, who was in fact Heath Sims. He's already got 2 goals. He's tied up in the tackle. And the torrid opening. No score.
The one thing that's really impressed me about the grand final has been the tackling, Jim, from both sides. It's been absolutely sensational.
It has indeed, and Jack Dempsey gets us underway. We're underway, in fact, about the 4-minute mark now. 3-minute mark of this, the second quarter of the Western Border League Grand Final. North and South. Comes to that time number 9 is Andrew Sims. Deep into the pocket on the full, and there will be a throw in that left, no, a kick in rather, in that left forward pocket for the North Gambia Tigers. And what's happening here? Jack Dempsey coming down saying, no, it's not your ball, Luke, you'll have to give it up. It'll be taken back there by, who's that player, David? Todd, is it? The kick is coming towards this defensive side, and almost number 26 that time. In fact, you should have marked that. That was Craig Todd then, number 26. Didn't take the mark. And
it was O'Connor, Jim, sorry. Luke O'Connor.
Yeah, sorry, Luke, I should have picked you up, Lucas, but you were deep in that pocket and a long way from where we're calling. The throw in by Tim Wilson, the boundary umpire from the Southeast Umpire League, to ground. Here's Nolte. Works it well. Brett Dean went without it. Here's Collins. Effective touch since being set off. That was the first. Good defensive stuff, but Collins got it again. Read it well. Cleverly close. Got it towards Allen. He'll be run down by McGregor. His pace is superior. The kick is not good. It is out on the full, and terrific pressure from Duncan McGregor. 2-3-15 North, 5-2-32 South. And the reigning champs are not relinquishing the title without a big effort today. The ball driven back, and a good mark. Goss is well up the field. Clean Goss.
Like he might have changed positions. Goss, he might be having a run on the ball, perhaps while playing centre half back, perhaps, Jim.
And the kick long to half forward, picked up again by Mark Winterfield. He's played well. Kicks into the centre. This is dangerous. Willoughby from behind. Good spoil. Dean has got pace. That was a very optimistic kick for a time from Winterfield. He could be made to pay. On the left foot goes Bradley Wilson-Smith, and he finds Darren Lloyd. And the choice from Mark Winterfield wasn't good. Well, perhaps the execution in the end not good, let him down. Lloyd runs inside his kicking distance. Kicks on that southern goal. It's a magnificent kick.
Great skills by Lloyd, Jim. He is a first-class player, Darren Lloyd. Don't you worry. You give him an opportunity like that, Jim. He's got silky skills, and he certainly finished off very well there with a good goal. Poor choice by Winterfield there to go inboard like that, Jim, particularly when Willoughby came over the top and punched the ball away. Good move too by Goss. He went down back. Jim took a good mark, got it forward, and that's what you look when you got a playing coach.
And he slipped himself back into the forward line. 3-3-21, 5-2-32, the opening goal. That time of the second quarter going to North Gambia. A lovely kick from Darren Lloyd. A mistake in defence by South. To ground. They try and work it out of the centre. Johnny Allen runs on. Here's Brent Howard. The youngster's been very good. Half forward, just short of half forward for South Gambia. Will have a ball up. Jack Dempsey comes in and says, I'll have it, fellas.
Jim, it's going to be very tight. I think it'll be a low-scoring game here. Both sides now are really just trying to feel each other out, Jim, and if one side can get a 2 or 3 goal break, anything could happen.
It goes to ground. Players can't pick it up. Here's player Lucy Forster, gives the feed nicely that time to Boucher. Boucher's run down from behind. I think he's missed, but there may be a free kick if he hasn't kicked the goal, but he has. And young Kevin Boucher, if you don't mind, almost an unknown to me, David. Where's he been?
He's been in the reserves the biggest part of the year, Jim, and was leading the goal kicking in the Western Border League reserves. But Boucher's now kicked 3 goals, Jim, has been a great contributor. That little small man getting around Forster and those guys down there, and Forster's hands once again, Jim, were absolutely sensational.
Geez, he's proving a handful, isn't he,
yeah,
this time
he's
for
a good
Craig
player,
Todd.
very good player.
His strength, with Ryan's strength as well, and McGregor on the ball.
And Garth Willoughby, Jim, this would be a real challenge to Garth, because he's been perhaps one of the best little back type players this year in the competition.
Very hard to stop when you run past and receive like that. It's really set up for you when you're forward. Lloyd is dragged off the ball and not penalised. Should have been. Comes to ground. Nathan Bell wrapped up in the tackle. In goes Jason Allen with the hands when it should have been the body. Players full on, get on top of it. Nolte that time tried to tap it out. Ryan's taken high. Missed by umpire Kevin McMahon. Perhaps a little soft. Maybe a good call in the end. But they're letting it go. As long as they're consistent with that, that's fine.
Exactly right, Jim. As long as they're doing it in the last half of the game as well.
Kevin McMahon bounces down. Ryan and Nolte. Nolte that time fair went in. Was he taken high? No, wrapped up in the tackle, says Kevin McMahon.
There, once again, Kevin McMahon, he seems to be in the play a fair bit, Jim. I don't know where Jack Dempsey's been. But Kevin McMahon now to bounce the ball right in the middle of the ground at Mulseed Park, with South Gambier leading 6-2 to North Gambier 3-3. Ryan and Nolte, they'll be at it for most of the day. Unfortunately, Nolte got into Big Mick's back, and Mick will take a free kick right in the middle of the ground here for South Gambier.
Those huge legs, David, of Mick Ryan.
And they'll be still pumping at the last quarter, Jim. He kicks long now, looking for Forster, his mate. Forster takes him over the back of the pack. Was a beautiful mark. Jack Dempsey's must have got caught unseen there. Boucher's in there, but a free kick now has been given for holding by Jack Dempsey, and Garth Willoughby will take the free kick. I thought Boucher marked it, Jim.
Well, it was Adam Salmon, in fact, it was.
Sorry,
David.
mate.
It may have bounced. That's the only reason it wasn't paid. The kick towards Mackay went one-handed. His grab didn't have it, and he played for it very nicely. But they slowed it down. He'll try to get the fly. He does on the right foot, kicks it to a contest. Here's Allen, went one-handed again. Well read, he'll break the tackle. If the ball sits, it does. Glenn's in pursuit, but Allen's kick is wobbly towards forward. He's delivered a couple of times very poorly. Here's a chance for Earl. On him is Chant. To boundary line it goes, and we'll have a throw in. The goal umpire actually called it. Good supportive stuff, as the umpire was caught a little bit that time, young Timmy Wilson, who can really run like a gazelle. So when he gets caught behind, you can tell the ball has moved fairly quickly from one end to the other. Deep in the right forward pocket. North in attack, trailing 6-2 to 3-3. South lead it by 17 points. Bradley Wilson-Smith to Jason Allen. Will he get foot to ball? He goes to boundary line. Hot pursuit of him, Paul Mullen. It's been a good contest.
And Darren Wright's on the ground now, Jim. Just come onto the ground for his first run, and has gone into the ruck against Mick Ryan.
So they're going to run two against him.
Darren Wright might be playing up forward, actually, Jim.
Nolte and Wright. Fist on the ball, comes loose. Close will get a kick and misses. 1 point. Gee, the opportunist nearly that time, Andrew Close. You normally nail those. And offline for a point. So 3-4-22 North Gambier. 6-2-38 South.
Jim, the move's been made. Darren Wright's gone now to full forward, and Glenn Goss has gone to centre half back. Obviously, they've seen that Forster must have been causing some problems there, Jim. Good strength by Molly Patzel there.
He's taken high by Darren Wright, yep.
Just took it really well. So North have been forced to make a few tries. Here's Mick drifting forward, and a free kick will be taken, if not a mark, Jim.
Dean hasn't done enough early, David. I don't think,
No,
Rick
I don't
Dean.
think he has, Jim. He's been hasn't been in it.
Collins has been off the ground, so it doesn't help. From behind that time went tight, it came loose. Good defensive stuff. In goes Michael Mullen. He's tackled from here. Taken high. No, play on. Good call. Nolte got a feed beautifully to Collins, who's got the fumbles. He works it inside that time to Bradley Wilson-Smith. Bradley Wilson-Smith, left footer. The race is on. Dean and Patzel. Molly Patzel. The bounce wasn't good. Brett Dean, the veteran with all the experience, goes over the top. Does he try to get it out? He does, and Jack Dempsey calls a draw.
Well called there, Jim, and to see Goss go back onto Forster now, that'll be a very big contest now. Wayne Glenn on Darren Wright, so we've got some good matchups, and both coaches pulling the changes at this stage of the game, Jim. But here we got Mullen once again fighting hard at ground level. Comes out now, and South Gambier work the ball free. Comes off Molly Patzel's boot. In there is Winterfield. He works the ball over the boundary line, and it'll be thrown in front of the Barry Maney forward sign here at Mulseed Park, with South Gambier leading 6-2 to North Gambier, 3-4 in the 1998 Western Border Grand Final. Once again, it's Ryan and Nolte. Big Mick gets his hand over the top. Winterfield in there to Edwards. Edwards onto that right foot now. We got Goss down here. We got Capewell onto Big Leroy's chest. Here comes, I think it's Adam Salmon down there. He's got plenty of chance, Salmon. Onto that right foot.
David Case! A good try from Adam Salmon.
And a very good effort by Adam Salmon there, and Gee, Jim, when South go forward, they look dangerous, don't they?
What a beautiful kick that was. I know it wasn't a goal, David, but gee, that was a good kick.
Particularly when he was turning like that, Jim, and certainly it was a lovely kick off the boot, but just didn't quite make the distance, just faded a bit to the left. In comes Norman now. Kicks out to where Allen and Michael Mullen. Nice mark by Allen. Put his big long arms up. It's a great mark with in the hot pursuit of Mullen. Handballs now to Lloyd. Picking up kicks and looking for his cohort and close. Close steps around now. Looks across here for Matty Patzel. He hasn't had much yet. Back to Dean. Dean on to Snoopy McKay now. And Snoopy McKay will kick within about 30 to 35, 40 metres, Jim, on his trusty left foot.
Well,
shouldn't have any problems from kicking there because it's on the right side for him.
Into the breeze though, David. It's worth a couple. We reckon it's worth a couple of goals, so maybe some protection from the clubhouse. Left foot is favoured by the angle. The hooking left foot of Snoopy McKay. Beautiful kick. Oh, it was a touch, I think, behind the line. Snoopy McKay gets a goal.
That's a beautiful kick from Snoopy. He was 35, 40 metres out. On his left foot, Jim, on his favoured side, and made no mistake. Good goal by Snoopy McKay.
Doing it very nicely. On that left foot, gee, when left footers kick a football and they kick it well, it's a delight.
They make it look really easy, don't they, Jim? And obviously Snoopy thought he could kick that goal and went back and
change, David. Johnny
Boucher off.
Boucher off. That's interesting.
Yeah, Jim, I thought maybe a mismatch down there. I think they pushed Salmon back down there. Clayton's gone back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens from now on. I think might have been worried about the mismatch of Fear and McKay.
Here come the Tugs again. They work it out of the centre. Centre clearance is important. Darren Lloyd got the sitter on McGregor on a beautiful kick and to McKay from Lloyd. And Snoopy will chip away short. He's gone to the pocket. Matty Patzel sitting on his own there. And I don't know.
Gee, I would have thought Snoop would have had a shot from there, but
yeah, he's put Patzel on the wrong side, on his non-preferred side. But maybe Snoopy knows more than we do. And that wouldn't be very hard sometimes.
It's 20, 25 metres out, Jim.
Matty Patzel for the fifth for the Tigers. That's beautiful off the
Jim.
boot, and it's a goal to North Gambia.
So Snoopy, obviously, you're a bit more than what we did, Jim, and it's a good kick by Matty Patzel.
5-4, 34 the Tigers, 6-3, 39.
And Jim, have you noticed that players, Lloyd, Close, Dean, and Snoopy McKay have got involved in the last 4 or 5 minutes? We've said all year about North's midfield, and it's been very evident in the last 5 or 6 minutes, and they've really got North Gambia well and truly back into this game.
Looking very good. The Tigers, as they fight back, they're trailing now by only 5 points. It got out to 17 points at one stage. Well, Kevin McMahon went down in the centre of the umpire there. A few cheers from the crowd. It comes loose. South Gambia looking to get a reply. Todd is all arms and legs, but done it well. Edwards went after the ball, but went without it. Mullen kick off the ground's clever. South force it forward. Who's got the pace? Goss went hard that time at Michael Edwards, and it will be thrown in. Nothing, no damage done. Captain coach went hip and shoulder. Near enough. Throw in between forward flank and left forward pocket for the Demons. They lead by 5 points. They have the breeze. From behind, Goss went high. Tries to work it out, tackled. Play on, holding the ball. Good call that time by Kevin McMahon.
One hand, Jim?
Yep, in fact, the throw in the end. I'd have played perhaps holding earlier. But the kick from Michael Edwards. Now he's got the breeze. He'll start it right and hope to hook it back.
Fair way out though, Jim. It'll test his distance on his kicking here.
He runs on, chips away. Lead was from Cape. Well, they've looked for him. Leroy hasn't done a lot.
No,
comes
Jim.
to ground, Nathan Bell. Back towards the wing, Allen and Mullen. Allen again in the air. He's taller, he's superior on the ground. Paul Mullen's had his had been able to match him. Lloyd, some important touches. Kevin McMahon says no 50.
I see Lloyd's got on top of Duncan McGregor now, Jim.
Snoopy McKay's also on top as well. Johnny Clayton comes late.
That's hurting South Gambia now.
Burrows into Johnny Clayton and will play on. Allowed to do so. Left foot kick to half forward. In front South. Michael Mullen was there to McGregor. McGregor to feed to Howard. Howard breaks through. Kicks it towards half forward and wide running player Salmon. Salmon, good defensive stuff on Little to give to Shepherd. Little got the bounce.
Well done,
Glennie Little. Hooks it back towards this player. And in Todd, I think it might have been. He kicks it back towards that Luke O'Connor, it was in fact, towards the boundary line on the half-forward flank between half-forward and wing for the Tigers, and a good passage of play. Gee, the bounce was kind,
Yeah.
but Glenn Little did very well.
And North Gambier's defence has been superb in this quarter, Jim. Absolutely superb. Mick Ryan once again with that big left hand, Jim. Lloyd on the end of it. By gee, he's getting some touches, Lloyd, isn't he, Jim? And particularly in this quarter, he's really stepped up.
And he can really hurt you when he starts to get possession, because if he gets possession, a teammate normally gets the next one. Nolte and Ryan. We're 17 minutes into the second quarter. South lead by 5 points. North into the breeze are fighting back in the second quarter. Collins wrapped in the tackle and being held. Soft decision by Kevin McMahon.
Actually, Jim. Very soft indeed, because he just really played for the free kick, and Kevin got absolutely sucked in.
Long. Punch from behind. Close. He'll be first there. McCain support. Close. Right foot around the body's excellent. Earl got the sit. Earl got the sit and got the mark.
Well done by Closey, Jim. How good was that? He had nowhere to go, players all around him, and just sheer determination. Tell you what, Earl's aerial skills been good too, Jim, taking 2 or 3 good marks. This could put North in front, Jim. The whole game's changed in the last 4 or 5 minutes. And I think he can put that down. He's put that right through Matty Earl. And I can tell you where it's come from, Jim. North's back line stepped up big time, and also their midfield now is starting to get a hold of the ball a lot more.
So 3 goals to Matthew Earl, 1 each to Darren Lloyd, Matty Patzel and Shane Mackay for the Tigers, and they lead at 6-4 to 6-3. Goal kickers so far for the D's, 2 to Boucher, 2 to Sims, Heath Sims that is, 1 each to Forster and Molly Patzel. Back in the centre with Jack Dempsey. The Tigers into the breeze, against the flow, lead by a point, and we've played 18 minutes of the second quarter. The half coming to a close. Forster muscles his way through. McGregor took it well. Left foot kick will float towards Lee Cape. Will they need a big lift from him? And he's got it.
Just strength, Jim. Sheer strength.
And how's the ankle? Whoops. Not good. No, he's okay. Missed a number of games at the end of the season with a bad ankle. Played in the prelim final when unexpectedly, most unexpectedly. And now in the grand final, of course, the leader, the captain.
Needs to kick a captain's goal here, Jim. South Gambier need this.
It's a pretty important kick, David.
Very important indeed.
He's kicked many in his career. He'll know the importance of it. Start it right and bring it back. He does. Gee, that's a good goal. What a beautiful kick. Goal. Leroy Capewell gets his first. The Demons bounce back and they go to a 5-point lead.
What a great grand final so far, Jim. The lead now sort of just changed hands a couple of times in the last 5 minutes, and first one side on top and then another side on top, but both sides pretty evenly pitched at this stage, Jim, and both sides making many changes.
Kevin McMahon has this ball in the centre. 7-3 South, 6-4 to Tigers. Glenn Goss has moved to the back line. Darren Wright, the veteran, has gone to full forward, or in a forward pocket. Matty Earls kicked 3 goals. Boucher, who's kicked 2, was off the ground for South. We don't know why. Into the ground it goes. Molly Patzel. He's been quiet in this quarter. Duncan McGregor just tries his heart out and wraps up Lloyd in the tackle. Lloyd, he wants to fight. They're both fighting, and then they let themselves go. Intelligent stuff. Not too much in that. It comes towards Peter Collins. He tries to break the tackle. He did. He got it to Patzel. He's a lovely kick, but this time he starts it right and it stays right for 1 point only.
Oh, gee, both sides moving the ball very quickly, Jim, aren't they? Both superior skill sides. They are very good.
6 goals, 5-41 the Tigers. The D's lead at 7-3-45 South over North in the grand final of 98 on KTV. To ground, Nolte read it well. To Lloyd, to Closey. He cooks it down, but there's the free kick after disposal.
Soft. That is so soft, Jim.
Well, now what is it for? Late or in the back, David?
He's paid for pushing in the back.
Well, the kick was certainly affected by the tackle.
It certainly was, Jim, but it was in the side of his body. And look, honestly, like in the context of the game, you've seen other free kicks not played, and from where I'm standing, I know I'm a long way away. That was pretty soft. I think Closey will enjoy this one.
Still testing for distance. Yep, it's on its way. It did testing for distance. Tapped over the line. Gee, Andrew, that was only a 35-metre kick there.
Good positioning by the goal umpire down there too, Jim. He was right in position.
Bruce McLaughlin, the umpire at that end.
Exactly where to go.
Yep.
Brent Howard, Jim, to bring the ball back in, kicking in from fullback.
What a beautiful kick.
down towards Simon Jones. Gets his hand on.
One-handed.
Great mark by Matthew Patzel of North Gambier. By G. Jim, he's an improved player. Since coming from West Gambier, this young man has really stepped up. Got great aerial skills, gets on his own.
Oh,
the chips
terrible.
across towards Nathan Bell. And Corey Jacobs, who's just come on the ground for Adam Salmon, takes a great mark in the middle of the ground.
He'll kick long from the defensive side, kicks it long, and in front Forster takes a very good mark.
Gossie was certainly got caught behind him, and Forster was just a huge amount of strength, just marked the ball. Forster outside of 50, kicks it right to the goal square. Up they go here, and a great mark in front. Magnificent mark in front there by Craig Todd, but he's let himself down, and sorry, it was number 34 there, in Luke Norman, kicked it out of bounds on the full. Comes now to young Howard, Brent Howard. He goes in deep towards where Leroy Capel is. Oh, that's a great spoil by Glenn Goss, coming over the top there and just punching over the top of the big fella in Forster down there. That was very well done. Brent Howard, Jim, only 17 years of age, and doing a very good job at this stage. He kicked in by Darren Lloyd now. Great skills, this man, Darren Lloyd. You want the footy in his hand as much as you can. Kicks out wide now, and it's beautifully picked out by Bradley Wilson-Smith. Wilson-Smith now. Deep into North Gambier's defensive half. Comes out now looking for Johnny Brown. It comes loose now. South Gambier out there through Brett Dean. He gets it back now to Collins. Collins runs into trouble. By G, they're on to Collins today. Kicks the ball quietly down here now. It comes out here, beautiful, the beautiful pass, and hits. Oh,
Forster couldn't
hold on to it. Glenn Goss now, the captain coach, runs it out of defence. Out here towards Glennie Little, who's making the break on this half-back flank here for North Gambier. Sidesteps one, coolly on his left foot now. Kicked into the space here. Here's Matty Fear and Jason Allen. Fear stands his ground close. He won't give an inch. Beautifully done by Andrew Close. Jason Allen now opens up the door for North Gambier. Matthew Earl runs hard at it. Well done by Johnny Clayton. Handball in here to Howard. Howard now close to Duncan McGregor. South Gambier now come down towards their half-forward line. Pushing and shoving there amongst the packs. Well done by Simon Jones. Rode the ball beautifully. The ball's running loose now. Goss and Capel, the two big men out it. Capel come from behind. Goss is there. Capel's still there. Using his sheer strength. By G, Jim, what a contest that was. And why wouldn't you want Lee Capel as the captain of your club?
G stood Gossie up 10 metres and caught him in no time, didn't he? Leroy
good effort by Gossie too there, Jim. But
kept
by
it out.
G, what a great effort by Lee Capel.
Throw in deep in the attacking zone for South Gambier. They lead by 4 points. Ball comes loose and it'll go over the line. We'll have another throw in. Boundary umpire Timmy Wilson will throw it back in.
25-minute mark, Jim, and only 4 points in it.
They've done well this quarter, North.
Yes. Very well indeed, Jim.
They could have been well out of this game had South got on top with the breeze. In fact, they'll go to half-time very much in the contest, if not in front. Comes to ground. Here's Luke O'Connor. This way, that way. The kick's not good, though, Luke, under pressure.
Jim, I can't remember. There's been very, very few easy kicks, hasn't it? Every kick's been just a
It's been what you want.
Contest.
It's
exactly
been a
right.
contest. Well, call David, and Mark Winterfield will kick it back into attack. 2.5 kicks from goal. Lovely long kick by Winterfield. Forster sets himself. From behind it comes to Howard, who's down the ground a little now. He's held up in the tackle. Players fall on top of it. This time the umpire, Kevin McMahon, says, boys, I'll take it, thank you. A little bit of pushing, a little bit of shoving, but the Demons are in front in the grand final. They lead by 4 points.
Neither side can shake the shackles, Jim, can they? Like here we are nearly at half-time, and it's 7-4 to 6-6. Umpire McMahon puts the ball down. Goss goes in, taps it towards the boundary line. Players at it hard. Everyone in very hard at the ball. And once again, McMahon will come in and bounce the ball again. Gee, Jim, there's been some ball ups, so there's been some fierce contests at the ball. No easy kick given. Not one side's given a quarter yet, so it's been a very, very good Western Border Grand Final up to this stage.
Bounced by Kevin McMahon. Forster goes. Goss goes against him. Two big men. To ground it goes in front. Collins was over the top of it and gets a free kick that time, Peter Collins. And you just hope, David, the umpiring's been
Yes,
okay, but you just hope they're going to pay them both ways, and you hope they're going to not just
Jim,
kick free kicks
well,
out.
that's what I'm hoping, Jim. I just hope that they're just not going to all of a sudden decide that have set thoughts about what free kicks they're going to give, Jim.
Michael Mullen sits underneath the defensive kick from Nathan Bell. Will he chip in short or go long? He's got the bruise behind him, but he's in a very dead part of the ground, right on centre wing. 4 kicks from goal, still south. A long kick from Mullen. Forster had his name on that one all the way. Hand pass inside. Howard will go inside close. He'll hook on the right foot. Across towards centre half forward. They're still a long way from goal. To ground, Molly Patzel. Molly Patzel's within his distance. He kicks on that northern goal. Molly Patzel.
Yes. Very well done by Patzel, Jim. So cool under pressure. Like had 2 or 3 players to get away from, and certainly did a very, very good job. What about Forster's mark, and then a little give to Howard, who the 17-year-old's done a good job on Peter Collins at this stage, Jim. Not only tagging, but picking up many kicks himself.
Boucher is back on, and Clayton is off. I think it might have been, in fact, Heath Sims has come off, but Boucher's certainly back on for the Demons. And that goal by Molly Patzel was his second. Heath Sims has kicked 2. Kevin Boucher's back on the ground, has also kicked 2. Matty Earl's got 3 for North Gambia.
We have
And
the
there
blood
may be a
rule,
blood
Jim.
rule on
Yes.
Simon
Corey
Jones.
Jacobs.
Is it?
I think it's Corey Jacobs
Yeah, may
coming
well
up
be.
with the
It's
blood
Corey.
rule.
Yep. So play will be held up just for a while. 6-6-42, North Gambia, South Gambia 8-4, 52. That margin 10 points, and we're right on the 27-minute mark of KTV's coverage of the 1998 Western Border League Grand Final from Mulseed Park here in Mount Gambier. The Demons and the Tigers. Adam Salmon back on. Interesting, he was on the bench. I hope his shoulder's okay.
Be interesting to see what happens now, Jim. Bit of shuffling there with Corey Jacobs going off with the blood rule.
Gee, Jacobs goes off and you bring Adam Salmon on. It's not a bad change, is it? That's the depth in these two sides. They both have many fine players. The reserves game won by South Gambia. So they opened the scoring. Wilson Smith. The one fault in Bradley's game is his kicking. He was under enormous pressure that time. I'm not criticising that particular kick.
It's right in front of us here now, Jim, for the first time. It's been most part on the other side of the ground, and South Gambia enjoy a 10-point lead here late into the second quarter of the grand final, Jim. Here they are again. The 2 giant men, Forster and Nolte. They'll be at it all day, Jim, and so far that's just been an intriguing contest on its own. Sheer strength, both boys. Both very, very good ruckmen, and both polled very well on the league medal. Nolte's been a good player, Jim, and been one of the reasons why North Gambia are sitting in this grand final today.
Terrific palm that time. Nolte got it down, read by Little. Close almost got in there too. Small from behind on Lloyd. Wanted the mark. He goes back in on it. There'll be a ball up here, David. Right half forward flank.
Jack Dempsey right on the spot, Jim. Very good umpiring. Was right on the spot. Got in the right position, and let the players have a fair dinkum dip at the ball. Jack Dempsey. Nolte and Ryan. Brent Howard taps it beautifully to Michael Mullen. Michael Mullen overlaps to Andrew Sims. Sims now tries to break the tackle across to Michael Edwards. Edwards now on his left foot coming inboard here, but Johnny Brown won't drop that. Don't you worry about that. Out to Goss now. Goss will kick this 50 metres. He goes wide out looking for Matty Patzel and Matty Fear. Patzel does very well, very good skills into Nathan Bell. Bell overlaps now to Jason Allen. Jason Allen now back here towards Goss, drifting down from centre half back. Goss comes back now looking for someone, gets onto his right foot, puts it inside the 50. And there goes Big Mick Ryan. Sensational, Jim. But he's got nowhere to kick to, Duncan McGregor. By G, be a race here now because North Gambia had the numbers. Well done by Michael Edwards on Glennie Little. Well done by Little. Good effort again by Edwards. Brett Dean now turns on the left foot, looks in for Nathan Bell in the middle of the ground. Andrew Sims beautifully stood his ground, magnificent, this young man. Into where Capewell uses his body. Capewell and Goss. This will be well worth watching now, and Goss goes for the safety of the boundary line, and the umpire will throw it in.
He just wanted the ball to sit, Leroy, didn't he? He didn't want it to run because Glenn was under a little pressure back there, Glenn Goss. He did it very coolly in the end, the captain coach, just put it over the line, and Leroy was hot in pursuit again.
Boundary line throw in. Goss and Forster. Forster gets front position, comes down to Collins. Collins overlays back to Bell deep in the back half now. Comes out to Allen and Mullen, pushing and shoving. those big arms again of Jason Allen really are hurting South Gambier out there, Michael. Paul Mullen, that is. Now he comes back here to Patzel. Patzel's caught in a great tackle. McMahon just puts his whistle away. Comes out to Brett Dean for a second touch. Michael Mullen gets back and with courageous effort there and just withstands his ground. Comes out here now to South Gambier through Johnny Clayton. Clayton up in the air. There's a contest there. Nolte back to Nathan Bell. Bell overlaps towards Johnny Brown here. Brown comes down. Simon Jones gives chase. Brown comes out wide. Patzel here's got the break on Matty Fear, but unfortunately the football's going to beat him all over the boundary line. And it'll be thrown on deep in North Gambier's forward pocket very, very late into this second quarter.
I'm just wondering where, in fact, Johnny Brown kicked that ball. There was no one out there for North. He was running straight towards goal. We saw it in the reserve grade as well, David. It's inclined to not go straight down the middle sometimes. Patzel. This is Matthew for North. Towards Collins. Deep on that boundary line. Players coming over the top. The kick on the siren. There'll be a free kick paid. Jack Dempsey's seen one. It will be after the siren. It is a long way out. And he will not get the distance from there, whoever it is.
It's Peter Collins, I'd say.
No,
Jim.
Collins has not taken the ball. We
Might
just
be
obscured.
Lloyd. Just can't see from here, Jim.
Kick on the siren. As the crowd come on, Duncan McGregor on the mark will pick up the kick from Darren Lloyd. He's a good 50 metres from goal. But he played at West Gambier for many years, David. Will local knowledge count on the kick? Oh no.
Trying to get a screw punt, Jim.
Darren Jarman screw punt. It's out on the full. The half-time scoreline, what a great first half of the 98 Grand Final. Western Border League. South Gambier lead at 8-4-52. North Gambier a 6-goal 6-42. With the Demons leading by 10 points, Jack Dempsey gets us underway to start the second half of the Western Border League Grand Final for 98. Ryan and Nolte. Lloyd got a hand pass to Bell. The Tigers go left of screen with the breeze. They trail by 10 points. Batzel close his first goal rather the grand final. No, way offline. In towards that forward pocket. David Shark keeps it in front of him. Want to go over? It does. Kevin McMahon says no problems. And we'll throw it in the right forward pocket.
Pretty good clearance by South Gambier so early on, Jim, wasn't it?
Big quarter for the Tigers, big quarter for the D's coming up because the way the wind's going, the Demons will come home in the last quarter with it. So North would want to be in front. Doesn't have to be by a lot, but you'd want to be in front under the conditions. Matty Fear, big high kick out of defence. Underneath at that time, Molly Patzel opposed to Brett Dean. Brent Howard goes on Collins. Those two been inseparable. They even got sent off together. It's been a great little contest.
Actually, Jim, they should have a special little room where they should better sit together while they're off the ground.
Bounce again. The Demons lead it by 10 points. It's the grand final of 98 on KTV out of Mount Gambier. We're at Mulseed Park. West Gambier's home ground. Here's Nathan Bell. Tackle on him. Good from Edwards. It comes loose. It's picked up and driven forward by South Gambier, sitting on his own, Johnny Brown. And he'll take the mark in defence. The defensive 50. He kicks to this, the clubhouse side, looking for the captain coach. Always a good idea. He kicks to Gossie. Gossie on the left foot, kicks it beautifully, and beautiful lead by McKay. And on full stretch and full bore, he dives and takes the mark. He kicks on the left foot back towards centre half, on that half forward flank. Darren Wright's first kick of the grand final, the veteran, the former medal winner. He'll kick it from the 50-metre arc. It's too far out, even with the breeze favouring left of screen. The northern end, he kicks badly on the right foot. It drops in front of Bradley Wilson-Smith. It comes to Collins. He tries to work his way through. He's taken high by Michael Mullen. And Peter Collins a chance to kick a goal. Opening moments of the second half. The Tigers deep in attack. Collins will kick from left forward pocket between pocket and half forward flank.
By gee, Peter Collins certainly made sure that the umpire knew he got hit too, Jim, which was very good. Very professional player, Peter Collins. I was saying off air before, Jim, would he be one of the fittest players in Western Border footy?
The fittest, I'd say, and will need to be, because they'll rely on his legs deep into this game. The kick's okay. It hits the top of the goalpost. It was actually coming back left to right. Good kick from Peter Collins. A little unlucky not to score the full points. A minor will do it. 6-7-43 to 8-4-52. The Tigers and the D's battled in the second half here at Mulseed Park. Kicked in by Howard's optimistic to Glenn, no problems, only the little man against him in Collins. Glenn always had the reach, kicks on right foot, chips away nicely to Paul Mullen. Had a terrific battle with Jason Allen. Kicked away short that time, Patzel, out to Ryan. Ryan won't drop this. No matter what pressure Matty Earl put on him, that was always Mick Ryan's. I'm just trying to pick up Jason. Yes, Jason Allen is on the ground. He's on that other wing. Kicked by Ryan toward half forward. Big leap from behind that time by Forster. And over the line it goes for a throw in.
Big man certainly got up there, Jim, because he's got a big frame and a lot of bulk to carry, big Mick Forster, and he certainly got up above the pack there.
He's a chance every time it goes to him, isn't he? He's just
very
so
strong.
big and strong. The running players feed off him. Ryan and Nolte, what a great duel that's been, as would expect. Molly Patzel, McGregor, good body on him from Lloyd. Johnny Brown, against him fair, way up from the back line. Todd tries to charge, Little got the loose give.
Oh, great smother, Jim. That was superb stuff. By young Ritterfield there, just threw his body completely over the top of the ball. Sorry, it was Heath Sims, Jim. Just threw his body right over the top of the ball.
From the throw in, Ryan, Dean, caught, Mackay, right foot, wobbles to centre. Mullen's got front berth and marks in front of Wilson Smith. And will be a 50.
Oh,
No, there won't be a 50.
Gee, Jim.
Gee, Michael Mullen wanted it. Kev McMahon said, I won't. Would have put him well within kicking distance. He floats it in the half foot. Forster in front. Can't get the second grab. McGregor tried hard. It comes to ground. Allen, there's the player we mentioned on Paul Mullen. Molly Patzel came from behind him and did enough to worry him. The kick is forward that time by Winterfield. Numbers wanted to side. Almost a chance that time. Boucher, he's kicked two. Goss rides someone in the ground. Will get a bounce. Gee, I thought that was a 50, David.
Gee, Jim, I tell you what, it was very close. Like Bradley Wilson Smith very hard at the ball, but I just thought it was fairly late there, and Kevin McMahon obviously wanted to know nothing about it.
Mullen would have kicked for goal because he was right in the centre. Forster to ground. Players going in over the top. Boucher, Dean. He's getting kicks, but he's getting them under pressure and getting a lot in defence and not being very effective. The champ that he is, he's battling hard, but not quite as fluent as he'd like to be. The opposition against him in Molly Patzel also been very good. The question mark you raised, David, can South sustain it? Ryan. Kick smothered, Nolte, he'll give it to Mackay. Taken off the ball, out of bounds. Mick Ryan coming with a
Not
very
an
good
easy
second
kick, Jim,
effort.
is there? There hasn't been any more than perhaps 5 to 10% of the play where you can actually get an easy kick.
Throw in. Ryan and Nolte to do battle. They've been at each other since the start of the game. Big double-fisted punch by Ryan. South need to do something with it. Forster comes hard. Well-read Todd. He's tackled by Salmon. The kick's not good. McGregor off the ground, and the Demons get the first of the second quarter of the second half.
Great tackle, Jim. Good work right off the ball there.
Salmon got the tackle in on
Yes,
Todd.
very
Todd
good
was
indeed.
always in trouble going across the ground.
Actually, it was young Luke O'Connor, Jim. A bit stiff there, young
In fact,
Luke.
it was O'Connor.
Yeah, just a little bit unfortunate for the young lad, but a wonderful tackle by Salmon, Jim, and well finished off by Duncan McGregor, who just swooped on the ball and kicked it off the ground.
Gee, a vital one into the breeze. That's the one the Demons wanted.
We say that, Jim, and yet that's been the scoring in the end where the breeze
Yeah,
tends to
it
be.
has, but there's no question if you've got tired legs, you want to be coming home left of screen to that northern goal. Ryan goes high. They try and work it out. They do. Winterfield goes over the top. Kevin McMahon calls a bounce. Six, 7, 9, 4. This game, and I love the cliche, will go down to the wire. You'd expect North have the fresher legs. South have the early lead and will come home with the breeze. It's set up for a 50-50 finish. Sims a chance now. He needs to run onto it. He does. Heath Sims with 2 goals. Got a kick on it. Salmon turned his opponent inside out. And a good shepherd from Edwards will set him up at the boundary line looms, and the boundary umpire says, I'll throw it in. In attack for the Demons. They got the opening goal of the second half. North have a behind in the second half. South have got the goal. Players going on top. Kicked out North Gambia, running race now. Dean's got the legs. He's being chased down behind by that time by number 9, Andrew Sims, but Dean did it poorly with the kick in the end, but it's missed that time. He might cover up. Gee, Howard, you've been good, the youngster. He gave it to Mullen. Mullen's hit, but not late. He got the kick in. Nolte's struggling. It comes towards he and Brown. They spoil each other. It comes loose. A chance this time for Andrew Sims. The kick away will be okay. It goes Winterfield. A nice chip over the top will be good. Forster's on his own. No free kick paid to Winterfield. Very interesting call. Goes McGregor. McGregor on left foot. He's caught and tackled and penalised.
Holding the ball.
Whoa.
Gee, Jimmy runs straight at his head. Just about took his head completely off his shoulders.
The kick from Bradley Wilson Smith is back towards half forward. They need to stay cool to south. It comes to ground, a chance for Jason Allen. He's run down by Michael Mullen. Allen keeps his cool. He works it backwards. They're giving ground. It's worth it because it got to Lloyd. Lloyd strides through and lets one go towards full forward, but sitting underneath it is Sims back there. And rather than number 39 is in fact Simon Jones, and he takes the mark. He kicks towards the defensive side. Fear is on his own, and he marks in front of number 23 down there, Darren Wright.
Gee, Jim, I thought that was a little bit stiff on that free kick. I don't know what you thought.
Oh, it seemed to be from here.
Yeah, but we're a long way away too.
Long kick on his own, sitting under, is it Michael Edwards, I think? No, it's in fact Boucher. This should be 50. It's not being paid again. And goodness me, umpires, you've got to be real about that. The kick in short is very poor. The finish not good.
Otherwise they'll lose control of this because you just can't drag players down like that. Nothing against North Gambia. Good up to if they can get away with it, you know.
No, the point is, though, you don't pick one out now suddenly and pay it the other way.
That's what worries me a little bit, yeah.
Brett Dean is starting to get touches. The champ on the left foot kicks it along to Snoopy McKay's had a big game. And he has paid this.
Now, there you go, Jim.
Yep.
That's what you talk about.
A sheer one-on-one contest,
that's
that one.
Exactly right.
And he was a long way away, Kevin McMahon, when he gave that. He's umpired very well this year. Snoopy McKay kicks a left footer in, looking that time for Wright, who went, no free kick paid that time. Good call, and we'll have a bounce. The only thing that worries me with the umpiring the way it's been, and it's been good, David.
Yes, I agree.
Is they're going to pick one. They're going to pick one out either way.
Because in the context of the game, Jim, it would be a real pity.
Well, they've created the precedent now. They've got to let it go. They've got to let it flow. And they have been trying hard to do that. Tough conditions, real physical game. Hard ground, kick from McGregor, wobbles it back in front as Edwards. He'll make you pay Little every time, and Glenn Little from behind can't spoil Michael Edwards. Chip away is loose to Michael Mullen, and the ruck rover.
Kicks too, Jimmy, Michael Mullen.
Nathan Bell a little quiet at the start of the second half. We're just underway. Kick from Mullen into the wind. Leaders coming out, but getting back very nicely that time. Number 26, Craig Todd.
Played pretty well. Todd has been just going about his work rate really good.
Kicks into the centre. Nolte need a good bounce. He doesn't get it right. He'll need a good bounce now and does. Charges through. Hand passes long. Salmon. Who'll he give it to? Looks for Molly Patzel. Clever tap back by Salmon. Patzel under pressure. Gets the kick away. In short Edwards again, is it? And yes. Marks on his chest.
South Gambia playing in front, Jim, aren't they?
He chips away short. Oh, optimistic. It was never on.
Gee, Jim, that was a poor kick there. But
just lets himself down occasionally, does Michael Edwards like that. Kick wide from behind Ryan. Wants the mark. Play on, says Kevin McMahon. He'll have a bounce. 9-4-58 to 6-7-43. The D's by 15 points. We've played 12 minutes of the second half. Into the third quarter we are. And really, North with the attacking breeze would have to be in front of three-quarter time. They've set themselves a big task.
Bounce down now by McMahon. Once again, Forster and Nolte go at it hard. Collins is in there for working hard for North Gambia. South Gambia players all in there on top of it as well. But by G, Jim, hasn't been a pretty grand final, but by G, it's been tough. Both sides really deserve all the highest of accolades you could possibly give them. McMahon now puts the ball down. Once again, Nolte and Ryan. Ryan did well, yes. Good decision by the umpire, McMahon there. Definitely pushed him out of the contest. Mick Ryan kicks down this far side half forward flank. Johnny Brown's been a good player. Sweeping onto it there was on a good mark. Oh, really a good mark here. There's two North Gambia players battling for it there, but it goes over the boundary line.
It's a point, David. It's a point.
It's a point, Jim, is it? I couldn't quite see. Who was that player? Oh, it was Leroy Capel, Jim.
Dropped got his the mark, and then there was almost appeal by the South guys for the South camp for pushing it back, but nothing going. Lucas Norman, lovely kick in. Geez, a lovely kick off football. Nolte sits under it and it was
Good
always
mark
yours,
by the big
David.
man.
Lovely hands off that time. Todd will get a kick, clears it towards half forward. They build something from here north. And behind was Pat's a little shove. Mackay's been very good. He'll come on the left foot. If he breaks the tackle, he does. It goes to Lloyd, who fumbles under a little bit of, well, he wasn't under pressure in the end. Goes to Brett Dean. He's tackled well, and they're giving them very little space, David.
They certainly are, Jim. They're locking him up in all contests, and there's no easy kicks given out there by both sides, and certainly South Gambier has certainly lifted their work rate in this quarter. 9-5 South Gambier, 6-7 North Gambier here at Mulseed Park in the grand final. Bradley Wilson-Smith comes over the top. Duncan McGregor gets it away, but a good mark by Jason Allen, who really is playing very well in his contest with Paul Mullen's been one of fine to whites. Good step back mark here. Cross to Lloyd. Lloyd on the left feet, but a great smother by David Chan, Jim. That's been one of the characteristics of the game today. The smothers, the tackles, just those little 1% things that go towards winning grand final.
It just strikes me Darren Lloyd as good a player, in fact as great a player as he is, sometimes tries to be a little bit too pretty.
Yes, Jim, maybe you might be right there. Maybe Darren could have turned back in and centred the ball. But
He's a natural right foot
yes,
kick.
I agree.
To ground two of the front, Mick Ryan, you are sensational. To the boundary line it goes. His battle with Nolte, we know, has been fantastic. The two big men, Nolte and Ryan, have just been terrific.
Been great. Been a fantastic duel, Jim. Actually, some of the matchups have just been sensational, haven't they? The one-on-one competition has been fantastic all over the ground. You would go a long way in country
Absolutely
footy.
terrific stuff. And you'll see the replay. You're watching it on KTV. Closey will kick on goal and miss. Gee, that was an opportunity.
He broke free, Jim.
6-8, 44, 9-5, 59. Andrew, you'd normally nail those. With the breeze. The kick out. Brent Howard.
That sun would be very good down there now either, Jim.
Kicks it long. And Earl's got to sit on this all by himself, and he takes a mark. Gee, I don't know where Brett was kicking that one. Ryan was late on the action. Now, Matthew Earl, he's probably a kick and a half out, but could kick it long. Looking for options, a lead from Darren Wright and Wayne Glenn. Glenn will be happy because he can match Wright for pace, where he may have struggled against Glenn Goss. The kick is in short. Gee, it's over the top. Brent Howard gets in, he can recover now and does. Boots it back towards centre half.
And down
Taken late.
yes.
And Howard wanting to fight, and Brent, you can't afford another yellow because you will be off the ground. And the experienced South players need to get at him, get him out of that. They couldn't afford to lose him. Simon Jones maybe with the ball, or is it Heath Sims? Tell me, David.
He seems
It's Heath Sims. A bit of a look-alike from a distance. Kick towards half forward over the centre. In front, Forster. Big grab. Hand off nicely. Too quick, in fact. Molly Patchell will get it wide. McGregor got the trusty left foot off one step, as he often does. Kicks it back towards half forward. Players go after it. Jason Allen tidies up. Nice hand pass. Got it out to Luke O'Connor. He goes wide to Darren Lloyd. Can they build? On to Dean. He'll look forward towards half forward. He does and drive it along. Earl's got the sit and takes a terrific grab. No, not paid.
Oh, Jim.
Gee, it looked it from here, but
He
we're a
took the
long
ball
way
out. I
away.
realised that, Jim, but Jim looked as though he took the ball all the way cleanly.
Matthew Earl almost got purchase on it. Kevin McMahon was very close. His call will accept. I don't think he's going to change it for us, David.
No, I don't think he will.
6-8, 9-5. The D's in front. We're into the third quarter by 15 minutes. David Chant running back on the football. He sips over and it'll go to the safety of the boundary line, and literally the safety of the boundary line. Throw in right forward pocket for North Gambier, who need, and they've got about 15 minutes to create something that is a little bit special and have a lead at three-quarter time. I wouldn't like to be chasing South in the last quarter with all their grand final experience, David.
No, Jim, I think you might be right, but then again, the fresh legs of North Gambier,
Yep.
you've got to take that into consideration
Absolutely.
as well. So anything could happen, Jim. Just anything could happen.
Comes to ground, Matty Fear tidies up the left foot kick. He thumps it along the boundary line. It's out on the full. He didn't do a good job of it.
I can
And a
tell you
free shot
something,
on
Jim.
goal.
There's going to be 40 very tired players when they come off this ground tonight, and it's just a pity to see that one side's going to lose.
And we all expect them to be at work tomorrow, David. I'm sure the boys are winning or losing might just find some reason to have a celebratory or a consolatory drink.
Must have been out on the full over there,
It
Jim.
was from Matty Fear. The kick was on the full. Now, is this Snoopy McCaney's
Yes,
left foot?
Snoopy.
He's a big chance, folks, to kick this. The kick from he leans back and lets it ride, and it's offline. It's 1 point only. 6-9, 9-5. Well, we know the reserve grade for North Gambier had trouble converting and eventually cost them dearly. The irony would be, and often happens in footy, the opposition take it forward and score. Howard to Glenn. Again, Earl is on his own out here.
Yes, Jim.
So Glenn has to slow it down. He's got nowhere to kick it.
That's to get high now.
Chips it short. Look out, Duncan, you're under attack. And
Oh,
almost
good
Brett Dean, but Duncan McGregor holds his ground. Will kick to the defensive side. That's intelligent. Who will he find? He'll find Matthew Patzel. And Matthew Patzel for North Gambia marks in front of Matty Fear. Gee,
Yeah,
there's
that's
two
it,
goers
Jim.
there. Matthew Patzel had a terrific year. Lovely kick. Back towards full forward. Flyers one in front, Michael Ryan.
Positioned himself beautifully, didn't he, Jim? Goss has gone forward now too, Jim. Darren Wright's gone back to centre half.
That's interesting. Interesting move. Mullen in front, Lloyd behind, Mullen almost. He'll be supported by Edwards, who got the hand pass away. Boundary line will come close. Lloyd, he keeps it in play, Darren Lloyd. Works his way back through the traffic and will get a free kick. Gee, good decision. I'm not going to say it. I couldn't say, no, seriously, couldn't see
Jim,
from
no,
here.
I think it
call
was
that.
quite true. I think that Darren handballed the ball out in front of him and Michael Mullen.
Yeah,
still
good
had
call
on
then
him.
by Kevin McMahon. I don't want to be hard on him
Yep.
because they're out there and I'm not. Kicked in short and it goes beautiful to Shane McKay. Snoopy
Gee,
McKay.
he's getting some kicks, Jim. McKay.
Gee, looks still fit for even. What's he, 30 years of age plus and just a lovely athlete. Kicks the ball in short. Good lead from Noldy and he takes the mark in front of Big Mick Ryan. Now use it, David. He needs to centre the ball or go right to the goal square.
He can do it. He's got the wind behind him there, Jim. He's inside the 50-metre mark, so should be able to take a chance.
I reckon he's 5 metres too far out for him. Goes for the hand pass instead. Nathan Bell's within range. Lovely kick from Bell. It'll just drift across goal. Players want it back there. Another point north. 6-10, 9-5. The margin is 13 points.
Nothing in it, Jim, is there still? Neither side can break the shackles.
We're at the 19-minute mark of the third. I don't think Peter Sims would be all that unhappy with the course of the game to date. How it'll go long. He goes down the middle. Ryan called for it. Noldy will come in to spoil. Got a big leap. Ryan in front takes the mark. Geez, good player.
Very good.
Nah,
player,
add
Jim.
great to that. Just assume he's a great player, folks. I won't say it again for the day. Kick from Ryan goes into the centre. Someone got a push out. No, play on. Good call by the ump in the end. Johnny Brown breaks through. Attacking move from half back. The kick and the chip away is good to Matty Patzel, who can't mark. Here's Gossy. They need one, coach. The kick from Goss is superb on goal, and he's kicked it.
That's a great goal by Goss. He was outside of 50 metres here, but the contest in the middle of the ground here was very good by John Brown. He was absolutely sensational. And talking about John Brown, Jim, I reckon John Brown is one of the unsung heroes at North Gambia. Never hear much about him, but by gee, every week he's in their best players week in and week out. So, Jim, we now have we're back now with North Gambia now getting that goal now. They're drawing this a little bit closer to South Gambia, and by gee, there's only 7 points in it now, and the next goal now will be crucial for either side.
7-10, 9-5 as David called it. And what a ball game we have.
The Spouts, Ryan, and takes the ball out of the air. Sheer strength, steps through the gap there. The ball comes down now. I thought, gee, Forster looks tired down there. Jimmy looks really tired. Comes out towards Closey here and a young Andrew Sims. And I tell you what, Jim, there's some very, very tired players out there at the moment.
I love the little nudge that Simsy, very subtle push on Andrew Close. And Closey's loving this. He's in a grand final. That's why he went to North. He's gone to just not be in one. He wants to win one. And his effort, as usual, will be 100%. Andrew Close, one of the great players, Western Border League footy, a medalist. Ryan got it. This might win a medal at some stage too. Brent Howard, big rap on him. A kick from Duncan McGregor, the wobbly old left footer. In front is Cape. Well, no, it was touched off the 30 cent. And then we are ball up inside 50 for South Gambia. Jack Dempsey,
yes.
good call.
He's called touch, Jim, and well picked up. I didn't think you were that observant, actually. I take back what I said about you earlier on.
Good umpiring by Jack Dempsey, Shane Dempsey in charge, and there was definitely the call off the Duncan McGregor kick. Forster went high. South need to build something. Up goes Collins. The feed went out this time to Glenn Little. On the left foot, the chip is up and not so very handsome, that one. Out on the full, Mick Ryan will take the kick. And I bet he hand passes off to Ant. No, in fact, Matty Fear will go. Ryan's been told to go back. I'll bet you a can of Coke this handball goes to Matty Fear. In fact, you can bet what you like on it. It won't, in
They're
fact,
a bit
because
slow
Andrew
now.
Close knew the same thing. He came down and cut it off. Mick Ryan. On the mark is Snoopy McKay. Ryan will kick from just about the true win position, and Kevin McMahon comes in to point out the mark.
Wasting
Ryan.
time, Jim.
He has. We're over 20 minutes in the third. With the breeze, North Gambia trail by 7. Oh, big leap from behind. North Gambia comes to ground. Adam Salmon goes in. He's been a little quiet, Adam Salmon. Johnny Brown went to charge through and got tackled high.
Gee, that's a good effort, Jim. Just threw his body at it. Had no fear whatsoever, Johnny Brown. He'll now relieve for North Gambier. Players breaking in all directions here. Jim Brown should go straight down the middle. That's what he does. Out towards Patzel. Matthew Patzel of North Gambier. Lloyd sits underneath it. Clever evasive skills. Gets the ball in towards Goss and Glenn. And Glenn was held. Very good umpiring by McMahon there, Jim. He was in good position. And Gossie had hold of Glennie before the ball even got close to him. Patzel now. Offlays the ball to Duncan McGregor. He's got space on the far side there now. No one to kick to, so he decides to go long. Back in the direction of both Matthew Patzel from South Gambier and North Gambier. That's a bit confusing, Jim, isn't it?
Call one Molly and call one Matty.
Boundary line throw in. South Gambier 9 goals 5, leading North Gambier 7-10 by 7 points. We're at the 20-minute mark here of the third quarter of the Western Border Grand Final. It's Forster and Darren Wright. It comes over to Glennie Little. He's been a good player on the back line. He kicks around the ground looking for Matthew Patzel of South Gambier. Fear's in there, McKay's in there, and big Nick Forster's over there, and big Nick Ryan, but the ball beats him over the boundary line.
Well, we're coming toward the time-on period of this, the third quarter. We have only had 2 goals kicked. It won't go for much more than 27-28 minutes, and I think Glenn Goss will be wanting his chances to get a couple before 3/4 time, but South hold them up, and the ball beats Andrew close over the line for a throw-in. 7-10 the Tigers, 9-5 the D's, and we have a 7-point lead to South Gambier, the reigning champs, going for 3 in a row. North Gambier going for their first since
1989. Was it, Jim? I think it was, yeah.
Ryan got fist the ball again. Geez, playing his heart out. This fella Brett Dean's had some touches, but Howard also, he kicks with that beautiful right foot. Back towards centre half forward. Oh, lost the ball that time to Sims. The ball was given away. Inside it might have been Boucher again, was it? Got a kick in front, Darren Wright, and did well in front of Forster. That's not a bad matchup after all.
No. And Wright used his experience by playing in front there, Jim.
The kick is wide. He's got a lead. Alan Witt
well
needs
done.
to hold his feet. South Gambier over the top of him. Look out, he's supported beautifully by Darren Lloyd, who showed it this way, that way, went back on right foot. I'm always more comfortable when he does that. The kick, in fact, is not good, and it rolls along the
Didn't have
boundary
many
line.
options, though, I don't think, Jim. I think it was the correct decision.
Played for safety. He was kicking back into a wall of South players.
Gee, that Jason Allen, Paul Mullen's been a good contest too, Jim, hasn't it?
We've played 25.5 minutes. There won't be a long third term. What a last quarter it will be on KTV's coverage of the 98 Western Border League Grand Final from Mulseed Park here in Mount Gambier. Thrown wide, Jack Dempsey comes in, we'll have a bounce. That won't disturb South at all.
Well, Jim, both umpires have earned their money. They've had quite a fair few bounces today. They'll certainly be tired boys tonight.
Bounce down, punch forward. McGregor again, he wobbles them off the left foot, doesn't he? He's sensational. It comes to ground. Here's a chance for Forster. The pace is on. Right, and Forster in the stall gift. It goes to ground. He couldn't hold his feet, and he's going to turn it over. Little hand pass to Dean. Can they build from this? Away goes Dean inside 50. It is long. Gost almost. Back behind it was Charlton. He'll cover up. He'll hook wide. Patzel's got a ton of space out here. He's got acres, and would you believe it, the ball bounces out of bounds. Take out a lottery ticket, David Chance.
And he had to sit on the wrong end, but it tipped over and just wobbled across the boundary line with, I would say that David Chant would have had his heart in his mouth then, Jim, because it was all North Gambier out there.
Isn't it critical, no matter in what contest, David, to hold your feet?
It certainly
If you
is.
don't hold your feet, boy oh boy, you turn it over. And then Darren Wright, good pressure on Forster at the other end of the ground. Nolte gets a kick in towards half forward, and it's a very good defensive mark by Simon Jones. He'll come this side. We go to the 26.5 minute mark. It's kicked in short. Duncan McGregor with the sit, one-handed to ground. Beautiful play, Molly Patzel. Edwards over the top, good give. They work it out very well. Now you want to kick the ball by Michael. It goes short. Good bump on him, on Todd. Backed up by Paul Mullen. The kick will go long in towards half forward. Darren Wright on the fly. It comes to Michael Mullen. Player loses Forster. Mullen goes back inside and is caught, not holding the ball. It could well have been. He had a chance.
Well done, North Gambier, Jim.
Jason
That pressure was
Allen.
fantastic.
Long back here. Players reach for it. Patzel wants the markets play on. He'll feed it wide to Lloyd, who's running loose. Lloyd, he kicks on that right foot. A skimming pass, and the mark is taken by the coach.
I tell you what, Jim, you'll go close to kicking that.
You'll have to, and he'll have to get a wriggle on. It's 27 minutes.
Gee, that was good work back by the defensive part of North Gambier, Jim. They've been superb. Absolutely superb.
And news has just come through, I can tell you, David. Imperials 53 have beaten North 47 in the Western Border League A-grade netball grand final. Glenn Goss from long way out, lovely kick, and he's put it through.
Oh, that's a coach's kick, Jim. I tell you what, he is a fantastic kick, Glenn Goss. And that was superb, absolutely superb.
Delightful kick.
I tell you what, though, put that back down, back to the North Gambier back line. They were absolutely fierce across half back here, and they really did run that ball away. And I tell you what, Jim, I don't like the signs. Forster and Kate will both look a little bit tired back here, and they've got Salmon back at full forward now, but I noticed they've just brought Capel out to centre half forward, Jim.
North Gambier 8 goals 10, trailing South 9-5. It's a point to difference in favour of the Demons. We're at the 27.5-minute mark of this, the third quarter. Can they get a lead at three-quarter time, knowing the D's will come home with a slight breeze? It goes to Leroy Capewell, who thumps it forward. They sit underneath at that time. The fresh legs might tell in the end. David's been calling it all day. Little's back there, and he zigs and he zags, and he's out of danger. He'll put North forward. Patzel's got the break. Great grab. Not, yes, it is paid. And the mark will have to come back. The mark will come back. It's been paid.
At this part of the quarter, Peter Sims would be absolutely waiting for three-quarter time. As I've seen Nick Forster comes off now, Jim, and he looks very, very, very tired.
And very, very, very big. Now Patzel, time on was blown. So we've gone to the 27.5-minute, maybe the 28-minute mark. Kick in short. Nolte got away. Good reading by David Nolte. And there's a siren, and South will lead by a point. He doesn't try. No, it was a long way out. He was well almost on the 50-metre square then. And they lead by a point. 8-10, 9-5, three-quarter time. We'll be back for a hectic last quarter. Away we go in the last quarter. KTV's presentation of the Western Border League Grand Final for 98. Jack Dempsey gets us underway. There's a point in the ball game. The Tigers and the Demons. The Demons to the left of screen with a slight breeze advantage. The Tigers with the fresh legs. They went straight in from the second semi. The ball is knocked forward. A chance for David Chant. He's besieged but got through the pack. A lovely hand pass to Molly Patzel. Patzel boots towards half forward. Opening attack in Darren Wright, and the veteran takes a very telling mark.
Could be a telling player at centre half back, Jim, Darren Wright, with his experience.
Knowing that Forster looks very tired and very slow, kick to Nolte. His battle with Ryan's been terrific. He'll kick wide. They just play around with the ball. Bradley Wilson-Smith has the ball for the Tigers. They're kicking to the right of screen into a very slight breeze. They have the fresher legs. You'd expect them to finish full of running. The ball picked in short. Mick Ryan almost got a kick to it in the end. He booted it wide on his own. Sitting out there that time was Luke O'Connor. He boots it back inside 50. Under pressure, the Demons now in front fear, and he's been paid the mark, and he kicks the ball a country kilometre, David, and he'll need to do that to get the D's out of attack, out of defence rather. Matty Fear. The trusty left foot. It is a long raking kick to the wing position. Forster went half-heartedly. There's a problem there for the Demons. It goes to Howard. Howard got through the pack beautifully and kicked it wide. Johnny Brown leads. Leroy Capel's back there. O'Connor's with him. It goes close to the boundary line. I hook it back, and luckily it'll go to the arms of Peter Collins.
Gee, that was well done by Johnny Brown, Jim.
He must have known he was there.
Actually, it was good vision.
To Little. Now they start to run. The Tigers reckon they can outrun the D's. It comes to Duncan McGregor, who's had a fabulous game. The kick forward, Brett Dean will run onto it. Look out, they're in trouble when Dean gets the ball. He goes on the left foot, a raking kick towards full forward. Goss is there. It comes back to Glenn off the ground. It go to Patzel, and can they get a goal out of this? The hand pass to Close. Close fires on the goals, and he's missed again.
She's all locked up, Jim. We've got a ball game now. She's all locked up. 59 points apiece here, Jim.
8-11 to 9-5.
Jim, just one tactical move. North Gambier pushed Matty Earl up onto the wing, and they've given Brett Dean the full forward line, Jim. And it just about paid off then, because Dean got onto the ball in the half-forward line.
Then they come, Little got in front, it finally went to ground. Sims has got it. It may have been, in fact, Jones who kicks it forward. That time towards half-forward. Forster, you need to do something. He does. Andrew Forster this way, that away. Make himself a hero with a good kick here, he does. He kicks it long. Leroy's got the set. Leroy's got the sit and can't mark it. Luke Norman, you did very well under pressure, young man. It goes to the boundary line, and there will be, in fact, a throw-in. Right forward pocket. Gee, Leroy had to sit. You'd almost back him 9 out of 10 to mark one of them. Luke Norman was fantastic in defence.
Oh, gee, Jim, I tell you what, that was a good contest there. Don't these sides move the ball quickly? Boundary line throw in now. Forster and Wright, and Forster punches the ball towards the goal face, but it goes over and out of bounds. at the 5-minute mark of the last quarter of the Western Border Grand Final. 8-11, all tied up here with South Gambier 9-5. 59 points apiece, Jim. You couldn't write a story better than this going into the last quarter. Darren Wright, Forster with strength. Handballs it out. John Brown, the pressure is hot out there at the moment, Jim. There is no quarter given, and these players have given absolutely 100% each.
The fresher legs, you keep calling David, you expect it to tell. The matchups have been fantastic. The one-on-one contest, the man-on-man contest, just fabulous. What an entertaining game we've had. And the scores are tied as we start the last quarter. And it's on between Fear, would you believe, and number 30 for North with his Matty Chapman, who's on the ground. It comes to ground, picked up by Sims. He hooks it back in front. Leroy nearly got a hand to it. Michael Edwards goes in. Gee, it's desperate defence down there. And again, terrific defence, Luke Norman on Leroy Capewell.
They just can't get it through for a score, Jim. No one's prepared to give it. Look, 1 point at this stage of the game could just be the difference.
But it's exactly where South want the ball. To ground, kick is nowhere. They try and work it through. They go to the boundary line that time. Bradley Wilson Smith, terrific defence. Throw in between half forward and left forward pocket for the South Gambier side. They're on 9-5. North are 8-11, folks, and it's 59 apiece. What a finish we can expect in the grand final for 98. Throw in is high. Ryan and Wright. Ryan got the front position. Bradley Wilson Smith in defence, ducks the head, not paid. Comes to ground. Michael Edwards, the hurry kick is smothered. In fact, he didn't get it off the boot. They're not giving an inch. Edwards fires in. Wright goes to ground. He pulls the ball back in. Can South Gambier work it out? Can North Gambier defend it? They do. It stacks on the middle. Now they play it again. Something behind the play. Umpire doesn't see it. And there'll be a throw up. Or a ball down, whatever you want to call it, on the 50-metre arc. It was superb. He's run down. He got his kick in time towards half forward. Fear in front, almost. He'll recover well. On the right foot, on boot it wide. Brett Dean's in a foot race. Chant and Molly Patzel are after him. Brett Dean can make something of nothing normally, and he's got a bit of space. The handball is good towards Earl. Earl will come inside, but he's tackled. His hand pass nowhere. They'll get it towards that boundary line. They'll tidy up. In fact, they get back down there to the Demons. They do it very nicely indeed out of defence. In front that time, North Mullen went without the ball. Someone fell over. Close maybe. Wilson Smith, a great tackle. Mullen, the turnover from the tackle was superb. It goes to ground, off the ground. It'll kick into the Sims. He breaks loose. He can't break loose. He got it back. They'll go over this time towards Michael Edwards. He gets around Wright, and he doesn't get around Wright. Well played by Darren Wright. The goal was almost on the board, and North Gambier's defence superb. In front is Brett Howard, and he'll take either a mark or a free kick.
There's been some remarkable performances individually.
Darren Wright, thank you very much, say the Tigers. He was around and going for goal, Michael Edwards, and the veteran stopped him. The long kick from Howard. Big leap, Forster, no mark. Defensive players wanted. It comes loose. Edwards got a quick kick. It goes up in the air. Nathan Bell, who's been quiet, got back. The hand pass. Hello, look out. Leroy's got it. Leroy's got a kick. It's smothered. Tremendous defence play again. Leroy came back on it. He gives a hand pass over. A kick for goal. And South have hit the front through Michael Edwards.
What a sensational captain's effort, Jim. And a guy on one leg who, 3 weeks ago, we never even thought we'd see him play a game this year, Jim. That was absolutely fantastic.
As Salmon comes off, and who's coming on? Johnny Clayton with the fresher legs. Of course, Salmon missed a lot of games for injury. Now, North, you've got to get one back. It's 10-8, 65, 10-5, 65, 10-5, 65 to 8-11, 59. What a game we've got in our hands. There's got to be a winner. We know there'll be a loser. It's been fantastic. Ryan will go against the poor bounce, favours Nolte. He tries to take it down. Mick Ryan covers up and bangs it long one out of centre to wide. Forster going with Wright. The ball comes loose. Look out, Sims did the roving. He fires on that Northern goal!
He's missed it,
and he's given a free kick. A free kick has been picked out and it's going to Johnny Brown.
Gee, Jim,
I couldn't call it. Didn't see, David. Don't know.
Jim must have been off the ball.
Gee, and it's gone against Forster.
What a kick, though, Jim.
He owes him one, does Forster, because he's been a bit ordinary, a bit slow, Nick. And to give away, if you did give away the free kick, gee, that's telling, because it could be a 2-goal turnaround if North can go forward. Into the breeze. Ball does hold up. From behind, Chant. Good spoil. Beautifully read Sims. He's a very good player. He kicks it long. Leroy's got the sit. Doesn't fall. Edwards from behind. Leroy Capewell's caught. He tucks the ball out. It goes towards good defence. Luke Norman to dive on it. The only option.
Very good umpiring too, Jim, by Kevin McMahon. He stood off the pack there. Let the players have a fair dinkum go at it.
It was Glenn Little, number 16, in fact, back there. An invaluable move. It won't go in the stats book, but gee, it was important for North. The ball up. They can't afford to let the Demons get a goal. And the score will go through for a point. It's a handy point. It's a 7-point lead at the 10-minute mark of the final quarter. The Demons are 10 goals 6. North Gambier are 8-11.
That breeze has come up, Jim. See that ball hold up into the
Johnny Brown's kick.
Brown's kick really held up then, Jim.
Luke Norman, defensive side. He hasn't got many options. Again, it dropped short. Darren Ryder went behind him. Sims has got time and space. He kicks around on the right foot. Leroy in front, not paid. He's going to get one eventually. He had to get one eventually because he was in front position on 4 or 5 occasions, and he'll kick for a 13-point lead. And I reckon if they get that lead, David, you try and catch him.
I'll tell you what, Jim, in the context of this game, anything could happen. We've seen this happen all day. South have got away, North have come back, and all day they've been at each other. And I tell you something, this game's going to go right to the wire.
Leroy Capel has got one. The captain, who's been out injured, led the goal kicking, kicked a ton for the year, knows what to do in these situations, leans back and kicks a magnificent goal.
Inspirational, Jim.
13 points the Demons, 11-6 to 8-11. And what does Glenn Goss do now? What does Glenn do? He's led brilliantly all year. He's now got to make a couple of tactical decisions. They can't just rely on South getting tired because now South have the lead and North have got to come from behind.
It's all set up now, Jim. It's a matter of who wants it now. Unfortunately for North, though, that breeze has come right up now, Jim. It's going to be fairly hard kicking into the face of that breeze now.
Mick Ryan has been on the ball for most of the day, David. David Nolte's been against him almost all of that time. These two have been absolutely gallant ruck champions today as it's got underway by Kev McMahon again from the centre bounce. Ryan got the hit. Who'll get it out of the centre? Then goes Peter Collins, who's been relatively quiet, David,
yes,
I must say.
Done a good job on him, young Howard.
Been very good and got a lot of kicks himself. 8-11, 11-6. The margin is 13 points and we are up the 12-minute mark of the final quarter. Plenty of time for the Tigers, but they've got to win centre breaks now. They can't rely on South just getting tired. They've now got to create. They've got to kick 3 goals more than the Demons do in the run home in this game. And in the context of it, in a low-scoring game, it's a very big ask. McMahon, the umpire. The bounce favours North, but in fact it went to Duncan McGregor, got a quick kick forward. Gee, they've been valuable little kicks forward. Hand pass on, Forster's body. Mullen will run onto it, he can't. O'Connor in trouble, he got high, taken high, and the ball will come back from Jack Dempsey's call, and I think Luke will have to go back.
Good decision, Jim.
Is in fact Luke O'Connor? I've called him poorly all day. It is Luke. Lucas, I apologise.
He's been a good player too, Jim.
But it is you.
Been very solid.
A lovely kick on the right foot. He goes defensive wing in front. Earl, good lead. Chance looks still pretty fresh with the socks up, but Matthew Earl kicks into the teeth of that breeze around that scoreboard wing in front. Guess who?
Mickey Ryan.
And he'll go back and set up a loose man across there, David. You watch that every opportunity he gets, and he's a thumping kick. It goes long back towards half-back, but Glenn Little's in the way, and he'll take a mark inside defensive 50 for the Tigers. They've got to create now. They've got to take a risk, maybe run the ball. Kicking into the breeze, Glenn Little dodges a little around the mark and kicks it long back towards centre wing. Matty Patso from in front, Matty Fear from behind. It comes loose. Chance Jason Allen, who's got fresh legs. A long hand pass to Nathan Bell. Belly kicks towards the lead of the coach from behind. Good spoil that time by the defensive players of South Gambier. They work it out to Howard. A quick kick goes long here. Runners wanted, but Darren Lloyd sitting on his own in the centre circle. He kicks it wide and kicks it well. Collins can't mark it. They'll close him down. He got away that time too easily. Inside Howard goes Peter Collins. Lift him with a goal. He went to the chip pass. He got it to Matthew Patzel, who fumbled by Earl. It's kicked out. Here's a chance that time for Chapman. It may have been. It's kicked wide.
Yeah, Jim, there's some pressure there, isn't there?
Who was that? Was it number 30? In fact, it was Matty Chapman.
Just come on the ground too, Jim. It'd be pretty hard for a young lad to come on the ground at this late part of the game.
Ooh, they worked it hard. They made mistakes, did North, but they kept going. They kept the pressure on, but couldn't convert when they desperately wanted a major. 2 goals to lead to the Demons.
Peter Collins would have been better off to have kicked the ball on there, I think, Jim, when he finally beat Duncan McGregor. Kicked in now by Brent Howard, outside of 50. Looking for Fear and Co out there. The ball's on the ground, comes out here now. North Gambier through Wilson Smith, back to Lloyd. Lloyd towards Goss, and Goss will take the ball just inside the boundary line, Jim.
If anyone can kick it, this boy can.
Kicking into the face of the breeze here too, Jim. Glenn Goss the case. Well, Leroy kicked one the other end as the captain. Now let's see what Gossy can do as the coach, Jim. They desperately need this one.
Coming
And
on
if anyone can kick it,
Yep.
it's Gossie from there, mate. He's a beautiful kick at goal.
About 14 minutes into the final quarter. Gee, it's off the boot okay. It just won't quite make the distance. Mick Ryan's fist is there. And it's an 11-point lead to the Demons. 11-6 to 8-13. And we're at the 15-minute mark, just short of the 15-minute mark in the final term. About 15 minutes of play to go in the grand final as Howard chips in short. He's got a player out here in Paul Mullen. Mullen can go long and will go short. In fact, he does it well under pressure. The hand pass over the top. They work it around nicely. Close to the boundary. In fact, on the full, they got a bit too clever that time, South.
Yes, you would have been better off to clear the ball out on the second kick, most probably. Jason Allen now comes in board. Him and Paul Mullen had a fantastic duel there, Jim. Goss is up there with his hands. Glenn and Goss at it. Fear. The ball's loose. I can't see Jim. The crowd's in front of us. I have no idea what's happening here. The ball's kicked back clear though. Brett Dean takes a mark. He's a beautiful kick, Jim. He's outside 50.
He hooks it and hooks it wide. You're under pressure now, Demons. And the mark is taken beautifully by Lucas O'Connor. Now he'll kick from the centre square, attacking side of the square. He'll kick from 60 to 70 metres out. And he does kick short to Matthew Patzel. We've got players loose out here, but this is the defensive side. The wind blowing in their face. Patzel goes deeper into the pocket. He's looking for the coach. Up goes Goss. Yes, and takes a very good mark.
He's on his right side to kick a goal from here too, Jim, on his left foot. He should better kick that Gossie from there. He's good enough. He's 25, 30 metres out on the left, on his correct kicking foot here, which is his left foot. And he should better kick this, Jim. Glenn Goss coming in. Nice kick by Matthew Patzel there too from North Gambia to set up the kick for him.
Well, they were patient. They worked the ball around David. My temptation was to go long, but they didn't. There's a long kick from Goss. Hands up on the air and it's tapped through for behind. Good defensive stuff. 8-14, 11-6. The margin is 10 points and we're over 15 minutes, just over 15 minutes into this, the final quarter. KTV's presentation of the Western Border League Grand Final. And they're doing a lot of attacking North, a lot of defending the Demons. Kick from Howard is good.
It's on
the full. Gee whiz, the turnover by the youngster.
Gee, that's going to become costly, Jim.
Winterfield had the mark easy enough as it was over the boundary line. Andrew close from deep in the pocket. Missed a couple of sitters in front. He kicks from an impossible angle. Big leap wanted. Ryan got across there and taken a mark.
That's a goal, Jim. That might be a goal, I think. It's a goal, Jim. I think it might be. The goal umpire conferring with McMahon.
He's paid the goal. No, paid the mark. Paid the mark,
Jim, I didn't know that either. Goal umpire came out.
Why would he come out and confer if it was a
I
mark?
don't know, Jim. Yeah,
There was certainly high drama. There's no doubt about that. The kick from Mick Ryan to the clubhouse side. South go high. Can't mark the ball to ground. Call it, David, for me. I'm screwed. And so are you. We've got no idea.
I've got 450 heads in front of me. They can't see it.
Well, listen to the
ball
crowd.
throw in anyway, right in front of Mulseed Park Complex here, Jim, with South Gambia enjoying a 10-point lead here at about the 18-minute mark. Ball thrown in. Ryan and Nolte with that big left hand by Ryan. Fear under his left foot now. Clears the ball over the half-forward line. Players in here, great mark. Fantastic mark here by O'Connor. He's doing really well. Wilson Smith now, and I tell you what, there's some tired legs. Lloyd.
Oh, smothered kick. And the hand pass to McGregor. Lloyd error. The hand pass goes to Sims. He'll give it back this time into the middle. They'll run it down. This time Simon Jones. The kick from Jones is long. Leroy, where are you? The ball comes to the front. There's no free kick downfield. The players stopped. It was Forster who stopped. The kick goes back from North Gambia. They're under pressure in defence now as the ball comes wide. No free kick paid. Out of bounds it goes. And Darren Lloyd again trying to be a little pretty.
Yes, Jim, he could have really got his foot to the ball then, but just overdid it a little bit in the middle of the ground. And I tell you what, could have been costly for him.
And I reckon he's a terrific player, David. I've got, just a big rap for Darren, but he can look a bit casual. And when the pressure's on, when he should have been kicking long, he didn't. South might work something at this. Kick off the ground by North, but their runners are there. Winterfield maybe. Left foot kick. The race will be on Mullen and Allen. The two speedsters will go toe-to-toe. Look out. A matter of pace now. Mullen kept the ball in front of him and he needs to and killed his feet. He keeps it going out. Good call by Dempsey not to play the free kick. The umpire said no.
Those two young lads there, Jason Allen and Paul Mullen, you know, you wonder why people at country footy come to watch the footy. You see blokes like that, Jim. They're just fantastic, two young blokes.
Ryan got in front, got the palm away. They're trying to work something south. The loose ball will favour who? Nathan Bell tried to tap it back. It'll be North who might get it out. They don't. They fall on top of the football. Who'll come back? Mullen off the ground. It'll come to Bradley. I'd love it to be with him if you're in trouble. The hand pass came towards Little. He's under pressure, but he backed out beautifully. Got caught. And Dempsey calls play on umpire Dempsey, and perhaps a fair call considering.
Fair call, Jim, yeah. In the context of the game, I think that's a good decision.
Gee, I had to wade the whistle to the mouth too then. I pulled it away, David.
Did you have your boots clean though, Jim?
Throw in to take place. Forster and Wright, the two heavyweights. Mick might have got it that time, Nick Forster, but got it to Nathan Bell, whose kick goes high into the breeze. Ball from behind by Howard is very good. Paul Mullen wants it to go out of bounds, and it does. 20-minute mark approaching. We're at the 19-minute mark of this, the final quarter. KTV's presentation of the grand final for 98. The Demons lead it by 10 points. She ain't over yet, though, I can tell you. Mick Ryan, Howard, anything. They're gaming yardage. It's a game of gridiron now. Paul Mullen over the top to Forster. You need to use your body, Nick, and you do. The hand pass to Edwards. Edwards went wide. Perhaps should have had a kick, and North will get out of trouble. The ball will go towards Close. Close. They had one too many in attack that time. Johnny Brown will get it out. The kick is not good from Brown. The front runner out there, in fact, is Corey Jacobs, the younger legs. It goes towards Sims to the boundary line. There'll be a throw in on that outer side in front of the scoreboard.
I'll tell you what, Jim, Nick Forster's gone. He's got nothing left in the tank, Jim.
And they can't afford to have a player running off him, David. No, precisely. Who's coming on? Can
Adam
you see?
Salmon now, Jim.
Yeah, Salmon, well, he's certainly quicker. His fitness level is suspect because just he's missed so many games, but for a shoulder injury. But he can kick a goal.
Oh, yes, Jim.
And he plays tall because he can take a mark.
Compliment to Darren Wright, though. He's done a good job on Forster since going back there.
How'd the feeling be in Peter Sims' chest at the moment, though? Going for 3 in a row. And a free kick that time given. No advantage paid. And that's a good call from Jack Dempsey.
He did pay the advantage early, Jim, then brought the ball
No,
back,
do
so
that.
was
No
good.
problem. Yep.
Yeah, good
done the hard
decision
work.
by Jack Dempsey.
Gee, the temptation to grab a jumper's huge, isn't it?
Yep.
You just don't want them to break loose. This has been a classic contest between the two heavyweights. And we can drop into cliches, but they have been terrific. Bruce would be proud of this. It goes to the ground. They're going to fall on top of the football. No. Look out, the hand pass Edwards. He can kick a goal, this kid. He runs inside 50. He lets it go. Leroy likes it.
Well done, South Candy, Jim. In the clinches, they were so tough in the clinches. There was a 50-50 ball to be won there. And I'm just looking to see who they're congratulating. It was Simon Jones, Jim, who just threw his body at the ball and blocked the ball, and it was just sprung free, and Michael Evans jumped on it and kicked a beautiful goal.
12-6, 78, 8, 14, 62. The margin is blown out to a massive 16 points, and the Tigers, don't worry, they're not out of this. We're inside over the 20-minute mark, but this North Gambia team, they're the fresher team. We think they are still. It's just been the courage of South that's hung in there, but the Tigers might sense that they have to do something. The backhanded pass, Nathan Bell is run down, and the mark is taken by Paul Mullen. Gee whiz, their lack of urgency in their kicking sometimes for North has cost them. Darren Lloyd and that time Nathan Bell. Don't want to harp on it, but gee, you got to get it moving. Here's the kick from Mullen. From the square to half forward. Big leap wanted. He almost got it. Jones. It came to Sims. He makes space. He hooks to the right forward pocket. Edwards is going back with Little. Edwards got the front posse. Will it come through? It may be touched through. It is touched through for a behind. Gee, the pressure on everyone back there. 8-14 now. 8-14 are the Tigers. They're 8-14, 62. The Demons are 12 goals. 12 goals what? I can't tell you, Dave. The scoreboard beat me. The kick in. Gee, I've enjoyed this game. It goes long to half forward. Mick Ryan has taken a mark.
Now tell me something, John. Jim, is the best man on the ground?
By a country kilometre. Thank you very much. 12-7, 8-14 is the scoreline I wanted. And Mick, you can kick this to the goal square, but I don't think you can kick it any further. Michael Ryan. He'll kick in short. The lead on his own. Sims was sitting out there on his own. No, it's in fact Mark Winterfield, heavily disguised as Sims. And I think the Demons might have done enough. This is unthinkable.
He blended in with the red and white streamers of the South Gambia cheer squad.
The chameleon of the club in the left forward pocket. Well, he's a kick out. It's a good kick out from here.
How dare did he hide like that, Jim?
Mark Winterfield lets one go. It's starting to pull back. It's a mark and a goal square. The Demons are home in 98. Who's got it, David?
I can't see from here, Jim. It's just, I think it's Adam Salmon.
The man who plays tall and can take a mark.
Great coaching move by Peter Sims. You just called him a minute ago. He's taken Forster off and brought Pete Sims on, and he's taken and Adam Salmon on, and he's taken a mark.
He kicks from the goal square, he kicks a goal. Adam Salmon gets his first of the afternoon. The Demons get their 13th. And just explain to me, against the odds, how the Demons make it 3 in a row, Casey.
It's not all over yet, Jim. You've got to remember there's not too much in this game, but I'd certainly like to be sitting in Peter Sims' shoes at
Not
this
only
stage.
can you have a can of Coke on that prediction, you can have the whole Coca-Cola factory as far as I'm concerned, because the Demons are home, folks. 8-14-62, led by Mick Ryan to 13 goals, 785.
And Jim, this will be league history. 3-peat.
3 in a row to D's.
League history, Jim, could be created today.
It will be, and Peter Sims, no more fitting coach,
Yes,
David.
I agree with that.
Gee, they've done it the hard way. They had to come through the preliminary final. Mick Ryan got hands the ball. It comes back this time. Here go the Demons again. They'll fly at centre half forward. They crash into each other. Salmon's been taken out the shoulder again. It comes to ground. It's picked up by Boucher, who's kicked two. Where's Leroy when you want him? To the goal square. It's going to bounce through. The Demons are definitely home. Boucher kicks his third. And he comes from where?
No, it's a good effort, Jim. Like this South Gambier Football Club, I tell you what, they have huge hearts. Jim, you read about it in all forms of sport, but I'll tell you something, mate. These guys are playing for their coach, Jim. And that's what it boils down to. They are really, really having a red hot dip. Take nothing away from North Gambier, mate, because they have come from nowhere from last year. Like they had the disappointment of last year, but I tell you what, they've still been a very, very worthy opponent.
To ground it goes. Oh, they're throwing themselves in. It's the desperate body of the Demons have got them up over the line. North won't lie down. The work from right's been good. Michael Mullen reads it best and just works his way into space and kicks defensively towards that centre half forward position. It drops short. Look out. Here's the man Jones. Here's the man, in fact, giving it across to number 9, who's been terrific, Andrew Sims. He boots it down. The ball bounces through for another one.
That's one for you, Jim. When you're hot, you are hot.
I want to ask the question, David. The players who crossed from West Gambier to play in a premiership, Lloyd, Close and Patzel, have not stood up under pressure in this last quarter.
Well, Jim, I don't think that they've had their midfield today has certainly been down, and Lloydie and Closey and Co are going to perhaps not realise their dream today. Maybe next year, Jim, but today South Gambier have been far superior.
Gee, it's enormous, isn't it, the pressure that's been on both sides today, and it was North who cracked. We thought the fresher legs would tell.
Yes,
it's
Jim,
not
I said all
going
the
to be
way
the
along.
case.
Yeah, no, and South Gambier now, I tell you what, Jim, they're in a perfect position to win their 3rd in a row.
From the centre, Ryan against Nolte. He's probably shaded the good player, the gallant David Nolte. It comes loose. Mullen will run onto it. They've lost some run now. The inspiration's gone for the Tigers. Paul Mullen will run into it almost within goal kicking distance. Luke Norman went hard at him. It doesn't matter. He won't feel any pain tonight, Paul Mullen. He's back in on the tackle. The ball goes out of bounds. And the Demons know they're home. They know they're home.
They have been absolutely sensational, Jim.
22 scoring shots to 22 scoring shots, and yet they've got a very, very handy 35-point
How'd
lead.
you like to be in the trenches at war, Jim, and have Mick Ryan alongside
Thank you very much. Saving Private Ryan, they call it. The kick from Salmon into the front. Leroy's got to do something in the final moments. He does, and it's knocked through for a point. 15-8, 8-14, and just spare a thought for the captain coach, Glenn Goss.
Yes,
Gee,
Jim.
it looked as if he had a premiership set up.
Yes, unfortunately for Gossie, but as I said, there's next year again, and North have certainly been the most outstanding side during the year, but unfortunately it's not going to be their day today, Jim.
They work it out. Andrew Close, so much he wanted a premiership, kicks it wide. Paul Mullen's been great. So has that man with him and Darren Lloyd. Been a good battle for most of the day, but lost it in the last quarter. Just didn't do enough. And that's what he was brought across to do.
Their midfield of Brett Dean, and Brett Dean hasn't shown a great deal today, but hey, what about this young kid Howard, Jim? Did he shut down Collins or what? He really did put him out of business today.
To centre half forward it goes, big mark Darren Wright. Is that okay?
Yes, done very well across half back.
Possibly his last game for the Tigers as he kicks wide. Who's running onto at that time? Luke O'Connor left foot.
Been a very good play, Jim.
Underneath it, great defensive stuff, the Demons. To ground it comes. Brent Howard's been a wonderful little player. Matthew Fear knows no fear. He's taken high. We'll get a free kick. I think that's Matthew anyway in there. If it's tough, Matty Fear's there, and it is. A late surge of goals. The Demons have been wonderful. They've kicked 6 in the last quarter, and the Tigers couldn't manage 1. Ball dropped short. Backing through, Glenn Little tried very hard. Here's Nathan Bell. Hasn't done quite enough. Darren Wright's tried. Gee, good defensive stuff again, the D's. They just love it tough and love it hard. Out goes Brent Howard. He got it beautifully across that time to Simon Jones. He kicks it into the direction of Mark Winterfield. Good defence by Little. He's been okay back there.
He's been a good player too, Jim.
Yeah, just tied up. 15-8-98, the Demons. The Tigers are 8-14-62. And Brent Howard, the youngster back here at the centre wing, is cramped up and getting some support from Duncan McGregor, the veteran. But closing moments now, KTV's production of the 3 in a row, 3rd grand final in a row, 3rd premiership in a row, as he runs onto the ball. Here's Leroy. Where's Leroy? In the goal square. Boucher kicks another one.
That must be 4 or 5.
It is 4 to Boucher.
He has been sensational on that forward line. He's certainly a goal kicker. And this is really walked away with this South Gambier now, Jim. Who would have thought at 3/4 time that the blowout would have been this big?
Well, they needed to get a goal early in this last quarter, North. They got it down. They just couldn't get that goal.
No, Jim, it really is bad luck. But like South Gambier, under the guidance of Peter Sims, mate, 3 in a row, it is absolutely, you cannot pay anyone the higher accolades than Peter Sims, can you, Jim? He is just been one of the all-time great coaches in this league.
Sensation. Ryan to ground. Nolte's been terrific with it. Here's Andrew Close. Kick short to Matty Patzel. Good vision. Matty, go back and kick a goal. Don't kick it short, Matthew, thank you. He is going to kick it short, and he kicks in the direction of Darren Lloyd, who doesn't deserve this goal. Waited on his own, has received for most of the day, and kicks on left foot, and it's marking the goal line by Wayne Bennett from the Ben Ross. Think I'm being hard on Darren Lloyd?
A little bit, Jim. I think that he's been okay, but I do agree with you. There has been times when he might have over-finessed, but that's Lloyd. He's a highly skilled player, but in conditions like today would have been better off.
I reckon he's received all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't win premierships like that. Glenn Goss goes hard, goes over the boundary line and have a throw in. He gets a few rises from the crowd, but
he's done a good
been
job.
a gallant leader.
Yeah, he's done a good job.
He kicked 2 beautiful goals today, Glenn Goss. Matthew Wills got 3 for North, and they've shared them around the Demons of their 16. Nathan Bell battled hard. Long towards half forward, over half forward. Glenn Goss goes. He might kick a goal yet, the coach. Kicks off the ground, Palais style, but it won't bounce from. A few Bronx cheers for that effort. Maybe should have picked it up in the end, but under pressure. There's the siren. There's the Demons. 3rd grand final in a row. They're 4th of the 90s.
3 in a row, Jimmy. And before we close off this grand final day here, which South Gambier have absolutely been gallant, Jim. The injuries they had, you would never have given them here 2 or 3 weeks ago down at Millicent when North Gambier absolutely flogged them to come back today and win this premiership. They are a fantastic club and they certainly deserve their win today.
Final scoreline here at Mulseed Park. South Gambier 16-8-104 have defeated North Gambier 8-15-63. Goal kickers for the Demons. Lee Cape will kick 2. Michael Edwards kicked 2. Matthew Patzel got 2. Heath Sims 2. 4 to Kevin Boucher, 1 each to Andrew Sims and Duncan McGregor and Nick Forster. For North Gambier, 3 to Matthew Earl, 2 to Glenn Goss, 1 to Darren Lloyd, 1 to Matty Patzel and 1 to Shane Mackay. A great performance by Peter Sims and the Demons, and they are the premiership team for season 1998. Best players, first of all for the losing side, David, North Gambier.
Well, Jim, it was fairly hard to... I thought David Nolty worked very hard in the ground, although I think Mick Ryan beat him on the day. It was, but I think the guy that I liked the most, I thought that played really well, was Lenny Little. I thought he was fantastic across the back line. I thought he picked up many kicks. I know you might have disagreed with me, but I thought Lloyd was pretty good in the middle. I thought his effort across there was very good. Luke O'Connor was another player that played very well for them. I thought he stood up. Luke Nolan did a good job on Capel too, Jim. I thought his effort back there was quite good. Johnny Brown was excellent across the half back line. Jim, that's about where I could go from there. That's about their better players for today. Oh, Jason Allen on the wing was very good as well.
For South Gambier, David, I thought, well, you're going to say a good team effort because that's what they're going to put in the paper. But gee, I thought Brent Howard was terrific, the youngster in defence.
Yes.
His match-up on Brett Dean, and he won that battle, was just superb. And if he doesn't
Peter
go
Collins,
on
actually, Jim. Sorry to correct you there. Yep.
On Peter Collins was terrific. Of course, I thought Mully Patchell matching up on Dean was just great. There was just terrific matchups everywhere. They played very, very well. But you said it, Mick Ryan, best on ground, fantastic. He had a lot of mates. If you mention 1 or 3 or 4 or 5 of South Gambier players, you're going to be in trouble for leaving 10 out.
That's
because
exactly
they were terrific.
right,
Let's run with Mick Ryan. He was just sensational.
He was best on the ground by country mile, Jim, and considering that at the start of the year, I spoke to Peter Sims early in the year, and he said that they weren't even sure Mick was going to be able to play, Jim, because he was so severely injured. But he stepped up today and been best on the ground, and along with Peter Sims and Straw Brothel, and of course in his first year as president, Kurt Slavin, the South Gambier Football Club can be very, very proud of what they've done today.
16-8-104 the final scoreline in favour of the Demons, their 3rd premiership in a row. North Gambier, the losing Tigers, going down 8-15-63. KTV's coverage of the Western Border League Grand Final for 98.
That is, just before we do that, to Bill Lewis, the president of North Gambier Club, Red Rod, and all the boys, sincere, well done for the being minor premiers, and just bad luck today. You didn't just break yourself. You've been a great club, and do sincerely congratulate you on the game. Well done to the the boys. South Gambier, can we come up and present the men to down there if you don't mind? Right, South Gambier players, please. Come closer to the dais, please, the South Gambier players. The South Gambier players, come closer, please. Number 3, Wayne Flynn. Number 3, Wayne Flynn, please. Can the South Gambier players come closer, please? Wayne Flynn. Number 5, Greg Howard. Number 7, Corey Jacobs. Number 8, Michael Mullen. Number 9, Andrew Sims. Duncan McGregor. Number 14, Michael Ryan. Big Ryan. Number 15, Mark Winterfield. Number 18, Michael Edwards. Number 19, Adam Salmon. #21, David Penn. 22, Paul Mullins. 25, John Clayton. 30, Nick Forster. 32, Matthew Petzl. 34, Heath Sims. 38, Matthew Beer. 39, Simon Jones. Simon Jones. Number 55, Kevin Boucher. Kevin Boucher. Michael Fox. The captain Lee Casewell and coach Peter Sims. Peter Sims. I just asked the director of the Western region, Mr. Gerard Lucas, to choose the best player. Thanks all. Look, South Gambia, congratulations. What a great club, what a great game, and I think that it's shown today what a power you are in this league. And congratulations to you and your supporters. Well done. To North Gambia, who have had a very successful year. They shouldn't go away too disappointed from this. I think this is a start of what could be some successful seasons for you. Now, it's my pleasure to present the best player in the grand final medallion from the VCFL, the Victorian Country Football League, and that goes to Michael Ryan. Now, as you will all agree, Michael played a blinder. He played a very, very good second half, and we do congratulate him. A great effort. Now, to Peter Sims, the coach of the Premiership team, Peter, congratulations. I know that you've had many of these before, and I think that you should still be hungry for more. Well done and congratulations. As the Laurie Rose Force from the Glenelg Football Club will present the Glenelg pennant to the Premier's captain and coach. Thank you very much, Brian. Congratulations to Western Border Football League for the terrific game and match they put on here today. Commiserations to North. Apparently you've seen the final Premier, but unfortunately you couldn't go on with them today. So congratulations to South and to Peter and his boys. They're a terrific bunch of guys and they've really proven what a successful club and what a great club they are today. That was a fantastic effort. Congratulations, Pete. gentlemen, the Claude Emerson Cup. So the premiers for the 1998 season of the Western Water Football League, South Candia Football Club. Can you please report to the post band? This is an emergency. Thank you.